close to a world championship than Cleveland, Ohio. The thing that hit me, Bobby D, when I came here to Cleveland this trip in, is the mural on the cement of the fans with all their hands raised. And it reminded me of when we took the bus ride back from the airport. And I'm on the bus with all the guys, and we are sad all the time. We are sad coming back because we had lost, and lost to Atlanta and lost to the Marlins. But the thing that happened is the streets were lined with people. From the airport all the way back to the ballpark, the streets were lined with people. And I said to the guys, as the veteran leadership of that we did, they didn't come here to see buses, guys. They came here to see us and to wish us well. Get up and get next to the windows and wave to these people. And that's what we did for the whole ride, from the airport to the ballpark. We had to wave to these fans that supported us.
Well, again, not only on the field, but off the field, in that clubhouse, public relations-wise, you're a consummate professional, and it's been an honor to be a part of you and have you with us and wearing our uniform. 95, let's talk about 95 real quickly postseason.
Yeah.
You beat Boston in Game 2, shut them out 4-0. We go on to the ALCS. We lose Game 1, you win Game 2. We lose Game 3, you win Game 4. You get the LCS MVP for winning 2 games.
Yeah.
Coming back after losses, that was just huge for this franchise.
Well, I appreciate that, but, you've got to do it with teammates. They got to get your runs. You got to pick up the ground balls behind me. I wasn't a strikeout pitcher throughout my career. Most of the time a heavy strikeout game would be 7. But I didn't try and strike people out as much as I tried to get them to make contact early, so I saved my pitch count, and I was trying to get the strikeout a little later. But those guys, pitching for that team, watching Omar Vizquel make unbelievable plays behind me, watching him catch pop-ups backwards, watching Kenny Lofton run into the gap. I was so used to a Dodger team that would get me a few runs and maybe play defense behind me. This team, you come here and they get you runs and they play defense behind you, and it's ridiculous. Like, so many balls, if you've pitched for 10 years in the big leagues or so, and all of a sudden a ball is hit, you know if it's hit or an out as it goes by you as a pitcher, because all the defense is behind you. But as the ball leaves the bat and goes by you, you know in general what's a good hit and what's going to be an out. I would turn around at balls hit in Cleveland and see Omar and Kenny make these unbelievable plays where I'm like, oh, I just gave up a double. Oh, no, it's an out. Oh, I just gave up a ground ball base hit up the middle. Oh, it's a double play. Ridiculous defense helped us an awful lot.
It was so much fun watching you do your thing in those years, the renaissance of Cleveland baseball, thanks to gentlemen like you. Before you go, people really want to know what you're up to these days, and whenever anyone asks, I say you're doing television for the Los Angeles Dodgers, but you live in Vegas and you're a poker player.
I do an awful lot of things. I'm part owner of about 5 businesses. People ask me to do commercials for them, and I always say I'm not interested. And they go, well, what are you interested in? I say ownership. I said, if I'm going to lend you my brand and I'm going to help you connect you with people, I need to be part owner. So I'm a owner of a Lucy pet food company. We make pet food. You can get it online. I'm part owner of a couple of car dealerships. I'm part owner of a Hershiser income fund, and I got an auto parts store. So I'm pretty busy, and I also have that little job called being the television announcer and analyst for the Dodgers. I do about 90 games on the air with them, and I do about 20 in studio, and then I do the postseason for them. It's a fun life. It's an amazing life. I am blessed, and if I ever lose my job with the Dodgers, this interview's going so well, I think I'll come work for the Indians.
You're there, baby. You're there.
No, I can't. The Guardians.
The Guardians, that's right. Well, thank you for stopping by and spending time with us. We hope you enjoyed our conversation with Orel Hershiser. We look forward to connecting on the next edition of At the Ballpark.
Hey, Cleveland, are you looking to score big with your home equity? Union Home Mortgage will help you unlock the value of your home and fund the promises you've made to yourself and your family. Visit UHM.com and score financial freedom today.
Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. Your life's on your phone. Your vehicle should be too. When you download the Spitzer VIP app, convenience is #1. View vehicle health. Get important alerts. Schedule service in seconds. Earn reward points. Plus, new vehicles come with complimentary oil changes and a lifetime warranty at no cost to you. It's all trackable in the Spitzer VIP app. From GPS to live chat support, 100% convenience is here 24/7. Download today. Wag more. Spend less at Spitzer. Proud sponsor of the Guardians.
At Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
Bundling your home and auto with Progressive could help you save without sacrificing quality. It's the smart thing to do. And as a hockey fan, you always know the smart thing to do.
Shoot the puck!
And you let the players know it.
Shoot the puck!
All game.
Shoot it! Come on, shoot!
And sometimes even after.
Man, rough game, huh?
Yeah, they should have shot the puck.
So bundle your home and auto with Progressive. It's the smart thing to do. But you already knew that. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else. All to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Rocked, high in the air, deep right, Perez back at the wall, he's out of room, it's out of here! Jose Ramirez has put the Guardians in front 3-1. Hey Guards fans, Matt Underwood here. Rick, Andre, and I will be calling games all season long on CLEGuardians.tv, presented by Progressive. Subscribe now to watch every Guards game for just $99.99, subject to national exclusivities. Find out more at CLEGuardians.tv.
Hey Guardians fans, are you thinking of consolidating your debt with a home equity loan? With the average homeowner having over $200,000 of home equity, hit it out of the park with Union Home Mortgage, the official mortgage partner of the Cleveland Guardians.
Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229.
Your life's on your phone. Your vehicle should be too. When you download the Spitzer VIP app, convenience is #1. View vehicle health. Get important alerts. Schedule service in seconds. Earn reward points. Plus, new vehicles come with complimentary oil changes and a lifetime warranty at no cost to you. It's all trackable in the Spitzer VIP app. From GPS to live chat support, 100% convenience is here 24/7. Download today. Wag more. Spend less at Spitzer. Proud sponsor of the Guardians.
At Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
Swung on, there's a high fly ball, launched to right field. Home run, Jose Ramirez.
This is Jim Rosenhaus, and you are listening to the Cleveland Clinic Guardians Radio Network.
Well, hi again, everybody. Tom Hamilton back with you in downtown Cleveland, where the tarp has been removed, and we are told a first pitch at 2:30. So evidently it's going to take an hour to get the field ready. So thus the first pitch will be coming your way at 2:30, and we will get Game 3 in about an hour and a half later than the original start time, but it will get started. And we should be good to go as far as the weather is concerned the rest of the way. So Game 3 of this series between Tampa Bay and Cleveland will have a first pitch at 2:30, and we'll rejoin you here from the ballpark at 2:25 right here on the Cleveland Clinic Radio Network.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Rocked. High in the air. Deep right. Perez back at the wall. He's out of room. It's out of here. Jose Ramirez has put the Guardians in front 3-1.
Hey, Guards fans, Matt Underwood here. Rick, Andre, and I will be calling games all season long on CLEGuardians.tv, presented by Progressive. Subscribe now to watch every Guards game for just $99.99, subject to national exclusivities. Find out more at CLEGuardians.tv.
Hey Guardians fans, are you thinking of consolidating your debt with a home equity loan? With the average homeowner having over $200,000 of home equity, hit it out of the park with Union Home Mortgage, the official mortgage partner of the Cleveland Guardians.
Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229.
Your life's on your phone. Your vehicle should be too. When you download the Spitzer VIP app, convenience is number one. View vehicle health. Get important alerts. Schedule service in seconds. Earn reward points. Plus, new vehicles come with complimentary oil changes and a lifetime warranty at no cost to you. It's all trackable in the Spitzer VIP app. From GPS to live chat support, 100% convenience is here 24/7. Download today. Wag more. Spend less at Spitzer. Proud sponsor of the Guardians.
Swung on. There's a high fly ball. Launched to right field. Home run, Jose Ramirez.
This is Jim Rosenhaus, and you are listening to the Cleveland Clinic Guardians Radio Network.
The perfectly manicured field, the unmistakable aroma of a ballpark hot dog, and the electricity celebrating another victory. This is At the Ballpark with Bobby D.
Thank you, Hammy. Welcome to At the Ballpark, where we hope you enjoy our conversations with those involved in the great game of baseball. Those who may have been behind the scenes or the colorful personalities who have provided so many exciting moments and memories. Today we are joined by one of my all-time favorites, a former number one draft pick with the Los Angeles Dodgers, a 3-time All-Star, Cy Young Award winner, and a Roberto Clemente Award winner, Mr. Rick Sutcliffe. Sut, thank you for taking the time to be with us.
Bobby, I there's not enough time in the day for me to catch up with you on all the great things. And I mean, seriously, just hearing your voice, it takes me back to how much we love Cleveland. What a beautiful city. How much we love Cleveland. What a beautiful city it was. Our daughter was born when I was playing for the Indians. Bobby, when I hear your voice, I literally think of Jimmy Warfield. I think of Dave Garcia. I think of Mike Hargrove, Burt Blyleven, Andre Thornton. Right now, I'm thinking of Joe Charbonneau and how crazy he was. That clubhouse in 1982 was a lot like the clubhouse in the movie Major League. And Bobby, you know it well.
Yes, indeed. You're too kind. And we've stayed friends all this time. And you were in Cleveland just 2 years and a half. Some memorable moments, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But we might as well start at the beginning. You're a number one draft pick of the Dodgers in 1974, 21st overall out of high school in Independence, Missouri. Share that experience with us.
You know, the story that comes to mind, Bobby, is I thought the worst day of my life. I'm 11 years old, and my dad leaves our family. My dad did not like sports, so we didn't play. And it turns out that we were put up for adoption, my brother and sister and I, and my grandpa on my mom's side said, no, that's not going to happen. He took us in. He came out of retirement. He went back to work. He loved sports. He had my mom and my aunt. He didn't have a boy to raise, so all of a sudden now he's got two of them. And he told me one rule. He said, the one thing, you can play all the sports you want, but you got to get good grades. Well, Bobby, you talk about me being the number one pick. My freshman year in high school came home with a bad report card. My grandpa didn't let me play in the championship game, and we lost. And there's not a doubt in my mind we would have won if I could have played. But he taught me a lesson. So fast forward to, as you mentioned, I was the number one pick by the Dodgers. Bobby, they come to our house. You know, they offered me a bonus, and they offered me my education and my brother's education and all that. And I asked him, I said, out of everybody in the country, why was I your number one pick? And they go, that's a great question, Rick. The reason you scouted out like a lot of other people, but the reason you stood out was because of your grade point average. And I'm like, well, why does that matter? And I said, what if I love baseball, but I hate math? They go, we don't know. Bobby, the only scenario they had to compare me as a player getting better by listening to a coach was me as a student and whether I listened to my teacher or not. Go back to the day my grandpa made me miss that football game. It wouldn't have happened without him being firm about it. And I ended up with a great grade point average, and I wasn't going to play baseball in college. I wanted to play football. And that grade point average kind of took me away from my dream of playing football and into the career that I should have been in all along.
Well, you're a 6'7", 6'8", 215, 225. What position did you play in football?
Well, you know, like everybody else back in the day, I never left the field. I was a quarterback. That's what I got recruited at. I was a honorable mention, All-American, blah, blah, blah. Got recruited all around the country.
A hell of an arm.
Oh, I could throw it, but, hey, we weren't going to run the wishbone. You know that.
I love it. You're drafted in June of 74, and quickly you're in the big leagues in 1976, and you pitch one game in September, 5 innings, only, 2 hits, no runs allowed.
Bobby, the funny part about that story was I get called up in September from AA. I go from, maybe 200 people on a Friday night in Waterbury, Connecticut to Dodger Stadium. And Walter Alston retired with 4 games to go in the season, 1976. He told Tommy, you're running the team, but the only thing I'm telling you is I want the kid to be the starting pitcher. So, Bobby, I'm the starting pitcher. I had probably 10 complete games in AA. I mean, that's what we did. Sandy Koufax taught me that a quality start was at the end of the game when you shook the catcher's hand. I mean, that's what it's all about. Well, here we are. You said I only went 5 innings. Nothing and nothing, bottom of the 5th, man on 3rd, 1 out. I walked to home plate to hit. All of a sudden, I hear the crowd yelling everything. The umpire says, hey, your manager wants you. I turn around, Lasorda's waving me back. And he goes, we're going to pinch hit for you. Bobby, I looked at him, I said, you got to be me. I had just turned 20 years old. I spent the next hour after the game in Lasorda's office just getting aired out about it. But that's the reason I only went 5 innings that night.
Oh, my. I love it. So, oddly, you don't get called back up to the bigs in 77, and you only pitch 1 2/3 innings or so in 78.
Yeah.
So, you're not in the big leagues in 77. You pitch an inning and 2/3 in 78, and then you go in 79 and you pitch 243 innings in the big leagues. It's like when you look at those kind of numbers and think you go from 1 2/3 innings to 243 innings, you win Rookie of the Year, you have 39 games, 30 starts. It's amazing.
Yeah, I tell you, I got hurt opening day in 1977 in AAA. About a week later, they sent me to see Frank Jobe, and he told me I had a torn rotator cuff. I was going to have surgery the next day. My longtime agent and great friend, you knew Barry Axelrod well. We lost him a year ago. He was there representing another kid. And as we came out, he says, how are you getting back to the hotel? I said, I'm waiting on a cab. He goes, I'll drive you back. He worked in the athletic department at UCLA. He said, nobody's ever come back from that surgery. He says, I did some research on it. He goes, you can probably go back and play college football or basketball. I go, what are you telling me? He goes, if I were you, I wouldn't have that surgery.
Wow.
The other kid that he was there representing had the surgery, never played again. I didn't get it done. The Dodgers were livid. They were mad at me. I barely pitched at all in 77. I get to spring training. I got to pitch well to make the AAA staff. But we end up winning the championship that year. I got called up, as you said, for an inning or so at the end of it. I had to make the club out of spring training in 1979. I do that. I'm in the bullpen. It's middle of May. We're facing the Phillies on a Monday night, and Steve Carlton. I'm not going to mention his name, but one of our veteran pitchers called in, and he had the 24-hour flu. He wasn't able to face lefty, but he was good to go the next night against Dick Ruthven, okay? So I get a start. Now, you would think with only like 4 or 5 innings that, I'd have a pitch count, right? No, you can look. I went 9 innings. Of course, I gave up a home run to Mike Schmidt. But after beating the Phillies in lefty, all of a sudden, Lasorda had to put me back out there again. And our pitching coach, Red Adams, who I owe the world to, when he handed me the baseball, he goes, "Don't let him take it away from you." And as you know, 18 years later, I was still holding it.
Unbelievable. Yeah, your career, you started at 20, ended up 38 years old when you hung up the spikes. Real quickly on, you're 23, 1979. You have all these great accolades, Rookie of the Year. But you had Don Sutton's, 39, Bert Hooton and Jerry Royce are 30. You're a 23-year-old kid joining that team with Steve Garvey and Davey Lopes and Ron Ray and Dusty Baker.
Some
Talk
household
about that
names.
real quickly.
They weren't as good to me as Bert Blyleven and Mike Hargrove and Andre Thornton were. Those guys all kind of hung to themselves other than one person, and that was Dusty Baker. And Dusty Baker was a game changer. He would tell me when a hitter was too comfortable. He just guided me through that rookie year. And, those 3 years in L.A. We win the Rookie of the Year in 79. I tell you the funny story. We win the World Series in 81, but I didn't pitch in the World Series because I had rearranged Tommy Lasorda's office with him in it. Long story short.
With a plate of spaghetti is the story sitting on his desk, right?
I can't remember the day, but I know exactly the scenario. Bobby, I live in Kansas City. We don't have a garage. There's snow on the ground. I walk out to the mailbox and I open it, and there's a World Series ring with a full share World Series check, like $55,000. I figured after what I did to Lasorda, I wasn't going to get anything.
Wow.
We got everything. You know what happened the next day, Bobby?
Traded.
I got a call from Dave Garcia telling me that I had been traded to the Cleveland Indians. It happened in 24 hours. I'm talking to Dave, and I'm like, okay, great, man. He goes, hey, but I noticed something. Your rookie year, you weighed 215 pounds. I had just weighed myself that morning. I was like 235, 240. He goes, when you come to camp, I expect you to be at 215.
Oh,
well, you know what? I started running 2-3 times a day. I showed up at 210 pounds, and as you know, things worked out pretty well once I put on that Indian uniform.
So let's just talk about, obviously, your time in Cleveland, and you immediately made an incredible impact. You go 14-8 with a league-leading 2.94 ERA. Talk about the move from L.A. to Cleveland.
I'll fast forward and go back real quick. In 1984, when I got traded to the Cubs, in September, Sports Illustrated did an article on the trade that made the Cubs, and it was about me. I got to be honest with you. The trade that made me was going from the Dodgers to the Cleveland Indians. As you said, Dave Garcia was there. It didn't start out well for me, Bobby. If you remember back, one of my first starts was against the Cubs as an Indian, and a guy named Ty Waller hit a line drive up the middle. I went to barehand it. It hit me in the thumb. It turned out that it tore all the ligaments in my thumb. To the day, my thumb still looks like it needs to be repaired. Well, this is funny, too. I wasn't coming out. I was going to throw one more pitch, and I did, and I drilled the guy. I mean, it just got away from me. I walked. Bobby, the guy I hit was Ryan Sandberg.
Oh, my.
I rode to the ballpark for 8 years with Rhino once I got traded over there. But after Dave Garcia got me into shape, they put a cast on. They're going to fly me back to Cleveland. I'm having surgery. I'm out for the year. It took a couple of days to get the flight booked, whatever. Jimmy Warfield, our trainer and one of our dear friends, Jimmy Warfield looked at the x-ray, and he goes, Rick, he goes, I think you can pitch with that thumb. He goes, you can't go side to side, but you could put pressure on it to hold a baseball. And I said, well, cut this thing off. Let's go see. And Jimmy cuts off the cast. And I went down to the bullpen, and he was right. Well, I didn't pitch real well in spring. It took me a while to get going. As you know, I started out in the bullpen. I hardly pitched at all. All of a sudden, we get ready to go on a road trip. And Dave Garcia told me, he goes, hey, they're going to fire me at the end of this road trip. We're not playing well. He goes, you work your butt off. You're always running. You're out there doing all that. He gave me the baseball, and he said, don't let him take it away from you. And he let me start a game on the road. I went like 3-0 on that road trip. I mean, literally, it was Dave Garcia. I got like 4 innings in the middle of May. And as you know, I ended up with over 240 because Dave would just leave me in. If I didn't hand the ball to Dan Spillner, I wasn't going to hand it to anybody. I mean, Dave come to the mound one night, and Oak Cleveland Stadium, and I don't know, it was like 6-5. I'm not pitching well, but we're still leading, couple guys on. And Dave looked at me, he goes, I got to go to the pen. I got to get you out of there. You're done. I looked down the pen. I go, who you bringing in? And he looked down to the pen, and he goes, never mind. He just walked back off. Yeah, so, he had my back, and him and Jimmy Warfield and, Andre Thornton being in the middle of that, Mike Hargrove, Mike Segui. And I got to say this because you don't ever take any credit for it. But when I came over to Cleveland, when I was with the Dodgers, I visited a lot of hospitals. I went to a lot of Little League games because the Dodgers paid me. And I wasn't making enough money to live in L.A., let alone play for the Dodgers. Well, when I get to Cleveland, I'm making enough money. I don't need to get paid anymore. And I asked you to help me go to the Big Brothers, Big Sisters. I went to the Children's Hospital every month. And one of the great lessons I learned was at one of those Big Brothers, Big Sisters picnic. Bobby, you know the story well, but it bears repeating. I'm out there playing with like 100 kids, and all of a sudden at the end of it, I'm sitting down with the adults, and they're all crying. And I'm like, what's going on? They go, well, this is our last event. I said, why? And they go, we're out of money. We need $5,000. Bobby, I didn't have it. And I'm starting to cry, too, with them. And the guy who started it looked at me, and he said, Rick, don't you ever forget, to these kids, 5 minutes of your time will always be worth more than 5,000 of your dollars. Bobby, those 3 years that you set up all of my appearances all over, as you know, you mentioned the Clemente Award, the Lou Gehrig Award, the Buckland. There's not a humanitarian award that we haven't won. I've never gone to get the award because that's not what you do it for. But as you know, Bobby, I owe you a lot for continuing to find the right places for me to go.
Well, we did have a special relationship, but it all starts with your big heart. You're a big man with a huge heart. Working with gentlemen like you has made this an incredibly rewarding career. Back on the ball diamond, 83, you're an all-star for us. You win 17 games, and then it comes the next year, you get traded to the Cubs mid-season for Joe Carter and Mel Hall, the gunslinger, and that changed the trajectory of your career.
It changed the history of the Cubs. As you know, it had been almost 40 years since they'd been in the playoffs. I get traded over there, and there was a waiver wire. Something was messed up. I didn't get to pitch the first 4 games. They get swept 4 games by the Phillies. All of a sudden in the papers are going like, they fooled us again. And I'm like, you haven't even given me a chance. I haven't even pitched yet, I get on the mound. I win in Pittsburgh. We come back home. My first start at Wrigley as a Cub was against the Cardinals on a Sunday day game. I throw a shutout. I strike out 14 guys. I mean, we're off and running, right? But you know what? Nobody talked about that because the day before was what they call the Sandberg game. He goes like 6 for 7. He hit a tying home run in the bottom of the 9th off Bruce Sutter. He hit a tying home run in the bottom of the 11th off Bruce Sutter. And we went on to win it. It was a Saturday game of the week. He goes on to win the MVP. And, as you know, I went on to grab that Cy Young Award.
In that season, you're 4-5 with us in 15 starts. And then you go 16-1 in 20 starts. 16-1 in 20 starts for the Cubs, 7 complete games, 3 shutouts, unanimous choice as the National League Cy Young Award winner. That's bursting on the seam, pretty impactful.
I got off to a good start. I had a root canal done that spring, and it wasn't done right. And I finally, after a couple of bad starts, I went to the dentist, and it burst open. And I lost like 15 pounds in 3 days. I was sick. I was throwing up. But I kept taking my turn. And as I look back on my career, I wished I could have been more honest. I physically wasn't able to pitch, but I felt like I had to help the team. And, Bobby, as I look back on it, I not only didn't help myself, but I didn't help the team doing that. And then what happened, a guy named Mike Heath with Oakland, earlier that year, he did something stupid at home plate, and he tripped Andre Thornton. And there was a little bit of a get-together, and Billy Martin was managing the team, and I told Heath, I go, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. And my last start as an Indian, Mike Heath comes up. I couldn't get him in the third inning because the game was, you got to win the game.
Right.
I couldn't get him in the fifth, but in the seventh inning, we're up like 7-1, and I get him. I knock his helmet off his head, and I was disappointed that his head wasn't still in the helmet. Well, anyway, Bobby, that's the only time I ever got charged in my career. Probably the reason I never got charged again, because it didn't go real well for Mike Heath. I mean, he whatever. And I don't know how many times I hit him, but we win. We get into the clubhouse, and there's a scout there from the Cubs named Charlie Fox. And I go, what do you want? He goes, well, if your hand's not broke from all the punches you've thrown, we're going to trade for you. I end up being a Chicago Cub the next day. Now, one of my favorite parts about that story, it's a big brawl. We're hitting everybody and everything. All of a sudden, I got to go get x-rays, and I'm like the last one left in the clubhouse except for Mike Hargrove. I go over. I said, what are you doing here? And he goes, I'm going to walk out with you. And I'm like, why? He goes, come on, let's go. As we walked out, Mike Heath and like 8 Oakland A's were waiting on me.
Wow.
If I go out there by myself, I mean, who knows? Mike Hargrove, this nice guy, Grover, nice, easy going. There's a tough Texan side to him, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
He went up to Heath. He got in his face. He said, look, he told you he was going to get you. He got you. You deserved it. Now go. All of you get out of here. And he scared him to death. They took off. And then the next day, I flew to Chicago.
That is beautiful. We only have a minute or so left. Unfortunately, you and I could chat for hours. You talked about your grandpa being such an influence in your life, and I think I remember reading somewhere he's the one who told you to go see Satchel Paige pitch?
He's the one that took me and my brother to go see. And in fact, our next door neighbor worked for like a food company, and his company had tickets. And he came over that day. My grandpa's name was Bill Uri. I said, Bill, you ought to take the boys to watch this guy pitch tonight. It's going to be something special. And literally, we go to the game. We're in the upper deck. It doesn't matter. And Satchel Paige is out there on the mound. And it's like unbelievable. This was the Kansas City A's at Old Municipal Stadium. Watching that, when he walked off the mound, that's the first time I ever heard of a standing ovation. And Bobby, as we talk, I'm getting goosebumps right now. That was the first time I ever got goosebumps. And looking back on it, that was a moment where I kind of went, wow, maybe I didn't know it. But, you just dream of maybe someday that being you. And as you know, I got a few of those ovations over the 18 years that I played.
Well, so deserving. Every award you earned, as I mentioned earlier, you're a big man with a huge, huge heart. I'm so glad our paths crossed as they did through this wonderful game of baseball. It's absolutely been a blast catching up, Seth.
Bobby, you as well. Hey, do me a favor. Tell Stephen Vogt, Carl Willis, tell them hello, congrats, and let's hope we have some postseason baseball. How about a World Series between Cleveland and the Cubs? I'll meet you there.
I would love that. Would meet you there for sure. Again, thank you for taking the time with us, Mr. Rick Sutcliffe. We hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane. We look forward to another edition of At the Ballpark on the Cleveland Guardians Radio Network.
We believe. We battle. Every pitch, every hit, every inning, and every win. This is Guards Ball. Cleveland through and through. Tickets at CLEGuardians.com. May the Force be with you. At the Guardians Star Wars night on May 9th, 15,000 fans will receive a Kyle Manzardo, the Manzalorian bobblehead, courtesy of Sherwin-Williams. Plus, enjoy fan group appearances, photo opportunities, and more fun throughout the game. Get your tickets at CLEGuardians.com.
Hey, sports fans, there's no better feeling than when you're watching your team dominate. But remember, when the offseason comes, you can still channel your team spirit with a fresh coat of color. Ask Sherwin-Williams how you can make every day feel like game day with over 1,700 colors and a top-tier coaching staff to bring the energy of your team spirit home. Shop online or visit your neighborhood store today.
At Cleveland Clinic, bettering lives is what you live for. You treat setbacks as a chance to come back stronger. You search for solutions inside and out. And you create new ways to keep moving forward. Because managing a condition is a win worth celebrating. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
Hey, Cleveland, are you looking to score big with your home equity? Union Home Mortgage will help you unlock the value of your home and fund the promises you've made to yourself and your family. Visit UHM.com and score financial freedom today.
Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229.
A grand slam for Daniel Steeman.
Spend your weekend at Progressive Field when the Guards take on the Twins May 8th through the 10th. Purchase a district ticket presented by Miller Lite and get a standing room ticket plus your first drink for just $20. Only at CLEGuardians.com.
Are you ready to join a winning team? Like the Guardians, SwageLock is proud to call Northeast Ohio home. As a leading manufacturer of fluid system solutions, our products can be found all over the world. We're one of the largest employers in the Cleveland area and an award-winning workplace. Discover where stability meets opportunity with a career at SwageLock. We're hiring and invite you to explore open jobs at jobs.swagelock.com. That's jobs.swagelock.com.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else, all to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Progressive knows there's no one more important to your team than your pet. They're like your top draft pick.
And it looks like Chuck has selected Pepper the Corgi. Bold pick there, Deborah.
Yeah, Rich, Pepper has a high ceiling for sure, but he does have a tendency to bark at every tree.
Yeah, he brings a lot to the table, but also takes a lot off of it, especially when it's been left near the edge.
Nothing left to do now but suit him up for the dog park.
Protect your top draft pick from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates of third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms.
We are currently in a rain delay. Stay tuned, though. We will have more with Guardians Senior Vice President Bob DiBiasio. But first, let's pause. 10-second station ID on the Cleveland Clinic Guardians Radio Network.
The perfectly manicured field, the unmistakable aroma of a ballpark hot dog, and the electricity celebrating another victory.
This is At the Ballpark with Bobby D.
The ballpark is home to many stories, many memorable moments, and colorful personalities. Joining me now at the ballpark is one of my dear friends, Larry Doby Jr. His father breaking the color barrier in the American League July 5th, 1947, when he went to the plate as a pinch hitter in Comiskey Park in Chicago. Larry, it's always awesome to have you back in Cleveland.
It's always good to be back here, Robert. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about your dad. I know you've done so many interviews. One of the coolest things that I've heard you say over the many years that you and I have connected is the fact that your father said he never got booed in Cleveland, that this city truly embraced him.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't much for telling the stories, Bobby, and I would try to get him to, and he wouldn't. And then one day we were sitting around, and he made that statement, and I thought he was crazy because I grew up in New York and New Jersey. They booed Mickey Mantle, and he said they never booed me there. And that meant so much to me because that meant to me that he was theirs. He was their guy, and whether he struck out or got a hit, they were going to support him, and he never forgot that.
You know, another story that you shared was there'd be people come to your home and stars of all pro sports. And your dad was a fan of all sports, being a four-sports star at Patterson High School in New Jersey. terrific football player, basketball player, and also a member of the U.S. Navy, which we cannot forget his service to our country. Tell us and share some of the names that, as a kid, you were walking around the house and all of a sudden at the dinner table, there's some pretty special people.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Bobby, they were just my dad's friends. They weren't special people to me. So he'd say, come home early. Maybe you want to, meet these guys. And it would be Bill Russell, Sam Jones, Willie Knowles, Willie Mays, Don Newcomb. And, I was just like, okay, nice to meet you, sir. My pleasure. Can I go back and play, Dad? And he's like, yeah, sure. Of course, in hindsight, which we all know is 2020, I wish I would have stayed there and kind of soaked in some of the knowledge that they were putting out. But, you just, when you're a kid, all you want to do is play when you get the chance. So that's what happened.
And you and I have chatted about this, and I don't think we've ever shared this with the public. So to me, it's a remarkable story that you were both a football and baseball player, and you were trying to identify a college in which you might be able to go and play both sports. Tell us the story about how you identified the school that you did, the story behind Paul Harvey. Remember Paul Harvey and the rest of the story? Well, to me, this is an incredibly interesting rest of the story when you sat with your father and decided to tell him where you were going to go to college.
So I got a bunch of offers and letters and stuff from different schools, and one of the things was that I definitely knew I wanted to play two sports, being football and baseball. And some schools automatically were like, well, the money's coming from football, this is your priority, and so forth and so on. And my goal was to go to the best school that I could go to, and if possibly a warm weather thing. So I went to visit Duke University in North Carolina in February. It was 70 degrees. I was sold then. All the initial contact came from the football office and Coach Mike McGee. And after we, had met and sat down and talked, and, he said, okay, I understand, baseball is pretty important to you. He decided to sort of funnel my interest towards the baseball team because he figured, I think, that he could get two athletes for the price of one, because if I was on baseball scholarship, then I was going to play football. He knew that, so that's what he did, which was pretty shrewd on his part. So it turns out that the recruiting process had gone pretty far. I hadn't even asked or known who the baseball coach was. When it kind of took the direction towards baseball, I found out the baseball coach was Enos Slaughter. As people probably know, he was one of the guys who wasn't happy when Jackie Robinson signed and put his name on a petition that they weren't going to play and so forth and so on. And my father had always told me when I was younger to treat people the way that they treat you, not what you hear about them, not what you think, give them a chance. And he said, even if I'm not friendly with them and they're friendly with you, that's okay. So needless to say, this was a chance to put those lessons to a true test.
Yes.
Yeah, and the best thing I'll say, Bobby, is that I think the true measure of a man is not where he begins a race, it's where he finishes it. And I have to say that Coach Slaughter, finished it on the right side. He was brought up and born into a segregated society. That was part of his life. But by the time I got to him, he was a good guy. I loved playing for him. I wouldn't have traded the experience for the world. My father, on the other hand, would always joke with me. They'd see each other at Old Timers game, and he'd go, I saw your coach, and stuff like that. So I think he had forgiven, but he didn't forget. And they had, me in common, so I think they became a little bit more friendly over the years. So that was part of the situation. I'm glad that I could have helped them get a little closer.
So let's get specific. On the football field, what position did you play?
I played strong safety, and I could hit and I could run a little bit, so that was my position.
You liked hitting?
Yeah, I did. I did. Almost to the point where the coach said, you don't have to let him catch it to tackle him. You can block the ball, not hit him. But, yeah, that's kind of what I learned, so yeah.
And then in baseball, what position did you play? Were you a center fielder like your dad?
I played center field like him, yeah. Yep.
And a right-handed hitter?
Switch hitter.
Switch hitter.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've always found that story to be so remarkable. Again, for those who want to check the history books, Enos Slaughter allegedly was the ringleader of even wanting to boycott baseball for integration at that time. But you said, a man comes from a certain place and he has a chance to change. And did you integrate Duke's baseball team?
Believe it or not, Bobby, I found out long after I had graduated that I was the first black player there. I didn't know that. And I think, ironically, I was the second black player in the Atlantic Coast Conference. But you know what? I was a freshman. Those guys, it was a lot of upperclassmen. They never made me feel different. I had no idea. Now, we were going to places and play like Valdosta, Georgia, and places like that where it was a little crazy. But, I felt like I was part of the team and, didn't have to go through the stuff my father did with not eating in the same restaurants or the hotels. So, we were all together, and, I'm thankful for that experience.
Well, we're thankful that you're willing to share that. We're thankful. I'm personally thankful we have this deep, long relationship that we have. I was one of the few that are still here that have blessed to know your father and your mother, Helen, and what wonderful, gracious people they were. And hoping that you out there all enjoyed today's At the Ballpark story. We look forward to sharing more at the ballpark on the Cleveland Guardians Radio Network.
Hey Cleveland, are you looking to score big with your home equity? Union Home Mortgage will help you unlock the value of your home and fund the promises you've made to yourself and your family. Visit UHM.com and score financial freedom today.
Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229.
Your life's on your phone. Your vehicle should be too. When you download the Spitzer VIP app, convenience is number one. View vehicle health. Get important alerts. Schedule service in seconds. Earn reward points. Plus, new vehicles come with complimentary oil changes and a lifetime warranty at no cost to you. It's all trackable in the Spitzer VIP app. From GPS to live chat support, 100% convenience is here 24/7. Download today. Wag more. Spend less at Spitzer. Proud sponsor of the Guardians.
At Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
Bundling your home and auto with Progressive could help you save without sacrificing quality. It's the smart thing to do. And as a hockey fan, you always know the smart thing to do.
Shoot the puck!
And you let the players know it.
Shoot the puck!
All game.
Shoot it! Come on, shoot!
And sometimes even after.
Man, rough game, huh? Yeah, they should have shot the puck.
So bundle your home and auto with Progressive. It's the smart thing to do. But you already knew that. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else. All to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
The perfectly manicured field, the unmistakable aroma of a ballpark hot dog, and the electricity celebrating another victory. This is At the Ballpark with Bobby D.
Thank you, Hammy. Welcome to At the Ballpark, where we hope you enjoy our conversations with those involved in the great game of baseball. Those who may be behind the scenes or the colorful personalities who have provided so many exciting moments and memories. Today, we are joined by one of the winningest pitchers in franchise history, a first-round draft pick, a member of Team USA, and the Guardians Hall of Fame, Mr. Charlie Nagy. Thank you, Chuck, for being with us. Catch us up on the family these days.
The family's good. The kids are out of the house. Oldest 25, living in San Francisco, and our youngest is she's a junior at Baylor University.
Empty nesters. Unbelievable. Have to believe consistency is what you are most proud of in your 13-year career wearing that Cleveland uniform. You make your major league debut in 1990. You become a 17-game winner in 92, an all-star, tossing 250 innings. That's a pretty cool way to start your career.
It was. It was a rapid minor league career. Got drafted, boom, the Olympics. Kinston, North Carolina, and then the following year, Canton, and getting called up to the big leagues, and it was just a great moment.
And it wasn't that easy starting your career in college, right? You went to Cornell. You went there to play football and baseball, and then there was an issue. Then you move on to the University of Connecticut. Tell us a little bit about that so kids out there understand that everybody has obstacles as they're trying to reach their dream.
Yeah, I mean, I was enamored with Cornell. I went there, and it just didn't work out for me, whether I just wasn't ready for it or whatnot, but still went home and still kept in contact with Coach Andy Baylock at the University of Connecticut. He was recruiting me also, and we made it work. I had to do some summer schools before I went there, and things went well. And I had 2 great years there at the University of Connecticut. A lot of friends, played with a lot of great players, had a really good time, and then inevitably got drafted that year in 1988.
Other than the 1993 season in which you suffered an injury, you only had 9 starts that year. You rebound and enjoy a streak where you post double-digit wins in 8 of the next 9 straight seasons. Again, consistency. You start the last game at Cleveland Stadium ever. I think Jason Beret became a friend, right? And that's who was pitching for the White Sox. You and Jason were the starting 2 for the last baseball game ever at Cleveland Stadium. So you pitch that game coming off an injury, but then you don't miss a start again until sometime after 11 starts in the year 2000. That's a remarkable streak.
You know, I mean, that's what you strive for every year. I remember Johnny Farrell, my first spring training, sat down next to me after a spring training game, and we were just talking a little bit, and he was just, you know, hey, these are goals you should shoot for, you know, make all your starts, throw over 200 innings a year. I mean, those are the benchmarks that every pitcher should look for, and you know, that's after hearing that from him, you know, that's what I strive to do year in, year out. And you know, there were probably some times I probably shouldn't have taken the ball, but, you know, oh well, you know, I just, you know, you work hard and you want to get that ball every 5th day and give your team a chance to win.
You were a 3-time All-Star, including 1999. What was it like pitching on that team? That team is the only team in our franchise history to score more than 1,000 runs. I believe the 94 team, if the season wasn't averted and had stopped in August, that club probably was on pace to score 1,000 runs. But the 99 club, where Manny had 165 ribbies, Robbie was just going crazy doing his thing, and of course Jimmy Thome being Jimmy, of course. What was it like pitching for that ball club?
It was like every other ball club we had there. I mean, we were just known for our offense, you know, scoring runs. If you go out and, you know, you give up a few runs in the first inning, as long as you hang in the game long enough, you got a chance to win this game still. And, you know, you said the 94 team, and, you know, you could actually argue the 95 team too, because it was 144 games and we still had a few, obviously, 20-some games that we didn't play.
Well, that team was remarkable to me. You guys clinched the division on September 8th. You end up winning the division by 30 games. I mean, just people don't understand. 144 game season. We're 144. We win by 30 games, which is ridiculous. You guys came to the park, and the attitude was, once we clinched on September 8th, was let's get to 100.
Yeah, we had to set a goal after that, and it was just to continue on winning and getting ready for the postseason. And yeah, we came to win every game, and I know everybody who came, the other teams who came into Jacobs Field in those years just didn't want to be there. They didn't want to. The pitchers didn't want to face our lineup.
Let's focus a little bit on one thing that I think is remarkable in your career. There were 2 occasions in our franchise history where we brought back 30 to 40 of our most illustrious alumni. One was the closing of Cleveland Stadium, October 3rd of 1993, and then on July 21st, 2001, where we celebrated our 100th anniversary. You were on the mound for both of those games, so you had to pitch in front of that crew. So let's talk about the May 3rd. You're coming off an injury, but for people that may not remember, we closed Cleveland Stadium with Bob Hope after the game doing a rendition of Thanks for the Memories at Cleveland Stadium, and dotted around the field, the greats at third base, like the Al Rosens, and out in right field, Rocky Colavito, and you got all the great pitchers circling pitcher's mound, and there's players dotted all around the field, and they're in the loges watching you perform. Did that sink in, that all those eyes were on you?
Not so much at that time. Initially, I was just concentrating on the game because it was my first start coming back, and just hoping everything would go well so I could, peace of mind for the off season and then going into the next season. But then it started to hit me a little bit when you see all the great players that are here and Bob Hope getting ready to sing after the game. I really don't even remember the outcome of the game.
We lost, unfortunately. I think Mark Lewis struck out as the final out in Cleveland Stadium baseball history for our franchise. I think that's stuck in my head. But again, you and Jason Beret were the two starters. You two become friends, both forms. But you were coming off an injury, but that started your streak, as we talked in segment 1 about your incredible consistency. But what'd you think about that old cavernous place on the lake?
I loved it. It was my first place being called up to, and I love that stadium. It was a great place to pitch. It had a good backdrop. It was an older team when I got there, and then it kind of changed as people saw. Traded a lot of guys away, and then we went young, and just everybody was gearing up for the next for the '94 season, and the new stadium that was being built. But it was sold out that day. We had a few sellouts throughout the season. It was opening day, July 4th, and
the final weekend
of all three games, and just also to be pictured on the tickets. Right. With Mel Harder. Yeah. So I get that a lot. I get them in the mail. I get them when I go back to Cleveland, or just random people and just want them signed, and talking about that day when we broke ground for Jacobs Field, and it was just that's a memory in my mind that I'll never forget.
The other one is July 21st, 2001, our 100th anniversary. There's 40-plus members of the top 100 roster, dotted by some of the greatest pitchers in the history of our franchise, of course, and you're starting that game as well. Tell me all about that day.
It was a fun day. I mean, I've got to know a lot of those guys that were there. I mean, they've been around before, and I'd been around for a while. And it was great to see everybody that was there, I still had to remember that I was pitching. And I remember we talked about taking that photo when I was walking in after I warmed up from the bullpen, and getting in the photo. And I didn't know how long it was going to take or anything like that. I really didn't care at the time. But, we did that. We took the photo, and, everybody patted me on the back, hey, go get him. And I'm like, oh, God, I better pitch well today.
That's not exactly the words you used to be, but it was something like that. But, yeah, I could not let you not be in that photo. I didn't want it to be like a kindergarten homeroom picture with a little thumbnail in the corner that Chuck was there, but he was pitching that day. You had to be in that photo, so when we took it. But guys like Bob Feller and Louis Tiant and Lenny Barker, Sonny Siebert, Mel Harder, and Mudcat, Gary Bell, Sam McDowell, they all came up to Charlie, patted him on the back, said, hey, we're really looking forward to seeing you throw today. Go get him. And you and I just had a nice little conversation as we walked to the dugout about that.
Yeah, about, hey, don't screw this up.
But you won that game. You pitched great. You got into, I believe it was through the 7th inning, and we ended up winning that one. So 2 of the most remarkable days in our history as we celebrated our rich history, and you're on the mound for both of them. I just think those are the really cool things that fall in line in the game of baseball. Chuck, it's been a blast catching up. Many thanks, and we hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane. We look forward to another edition of At the Ballpark on the Cleveland Guardians Radio Network.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the 4th quarter, and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
Rocked, high in the air, deep right, Perez back, at the wall, he's out of room, it's out of here! Jose Ramirez has put the Guardians in front 3-1.
Hey, Guards fans, Matt Underwood here. Rick, Andre, and I will be calling games all season long on CLEGuardians.tv for just $99.99, subject to national exclusivities. Find out more at CLEGuardians.tv.
Hey Guardians fans, are you thinking of consolidating your debt with a home equity loan? With the average homeowner having over $200,000 of home equity, hit it out of the park with Union Home Mortgage, the official mortgage partner of the Cleveland Guardians.
Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229.
Your life's on your phone. Your vehicle should be too. When you download the Spitzer VIP app, convenience is number one. View vehicle health. Get important alerts. Schedule service in seconds. Earn reward points. Plus, new vehicles come with complimentary oil changes and a lifetime warranty at no cost to you. It's all trackable in the Spitzer VIP app. From GPS to live chat support, 100% convenience is here 24/7. Download today. Wag more. Spend less at Spitzer. Proud sponsor of the Guardians.
At Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
Swung on, there's a high fly ball, launched to right field. Home run, Jose Ramirez.
This is Jim Rosenhaus, and you are listening to the Cleveland Clinic Guardians Radio Network.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Dale's a loser. I play to win, like early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
From Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, it is game number 32. Today, the Cleveland Guardians and the Tampa Bay Rays wrap up this 3-game series. Tampa Bay having won each of the first 2 ball games, and they have been terrific games, 3-2 and 1-0. Tampa Bay has won. And they are trying to do something for just the second time ever, and that is sweep a series in Cleveland. The only time Tampa Bay ever accomplished that feat was 21 years ago. Hi again, everybody. This is Tom Hamilton along with Jim Rosenhaus and Brian Montse. We will be about an hour and 20 minutes late in getting started today because of the rain, but the rain has moved out of here. And what's next is probably a blizzard, or so that's the way it feels here on the shores of Lake Erie. My goodness, did it get damp, raw, and cold in a hurry. Why? All you have to do is look at that beautiful American flag blowing out atop the concourse above the bullpens in right center. It is blowing in off Lake Erie, and we all know that in April, the water on Lake Erie is still frigid. Thus, when it's blowing in off the lake, we are going to deal with the consequences here at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario. Cleveland, they have probably felt like this for about, I would say a week at least, where they have been basically one hit away every ball game of either blowing the game open or getting some breathing room either early or late to win the game in walk-off fashion. We obviously saw it the first 2 ball games here against Tampa Bay. Last night, of course, Cleveland had a situation in which it looked like they were going to pull it out, maybe even in the 8th inning. They had bases loaded, 1 out, could not score. And on Monday night, they had the tying run at 3rd, the winning run at 2nd with 1 out, and Tampa Bay pitched its way out of it. So it's a frustrating game, isn't it? And it's still a very young Cleveland ball club, and some of these guys are learning the hard way how tough it is to score runs against any kind of major league pitching staff, but especially late. And that's all part of the maturation process. And if you're the Cleveland Guardians, the one thing you take out of it, they're in every ball game, and those hits will eventually come. And the bottom line is Cleveland is really getting tremendous starting pitching just about every game out now, and that always gives you a chance to win. That's how you put together winning streaks, is with the kind of starting pitching that Cleveland's been getting. And today they hand the ball off to Gavin Williams, and it'll be Drew Rasmussen off to a great start for Tampa that takes the baseball for the Rays. It's not going to be a fun day to play out here. It's, as I mentioned, cold, damp, and the wind blowing in. So not a lot of fun for the guys that are playing in these games, but we're going to get this game in. That's the main thing. Scott Berry is the crew chief. He'll make the calls behind home plate. Manny Gonzalez at first, Jacob Metz at second, Tom Hanahan, the third base umpire. Tampa Bay with a record of 18-11, second place in the East. They're a game and a half behind New York, playing their best baseball of the season. They have ripped off 6 consecutive wins. And how are they doing it? Well, they find a way to win late. If it's a close game, Tampa Bay wins it. And Tampa Bay has allowed 8 total runs during their 6-game winning streak. Cleveland, on the other hand, a season-long 4-game losing streak. First time they've been under 500 this year at 15-16. Second place in the Central, trailing Detroit by a half game. Guardians take the field in their home whites with the navy blue and the red trim. Tampa Bay, again going with their blue jerseys, the white silver trim, and the gray pants. Tampa Bay heads home, and they'll get ready for an upcoming series at home, while the Guardians will hit the highway for Hopkins and fly out to Sacramento after the game tonight, and that'll start a 7-game road trip against Sacramento, then 4 in Kansas City. Defensively here today, it'll be Angel Martinez in left, Stephen Kwan back in center, Chase DeLauder in right. On the dirt, Kyle Manzardo, who may be as improved as any player in the game defensively. My goodness, has he improved, especially over the last month. And he'll be at first with Travis Pizzana in a second Major League game at second, Brian Rocchio at short, Daniel Schneemann at third, and Bo Naylor doing the catching. 325 down the lines, 370 to left center, 375 to right center, 400 to dead center. 19-foot wall from the left field corner to center, 9-foot wall from center to the right field corner. The 3 decks start in right center, work their way around the foul pole to home plate. 2 decks on the third base side of the ballpark, and then all kinds of bleacher seats in left center, and parts of center field. Ballpark now seats 35,000, all blue seats, as the renovations have been completed. 26-year-old right-hander Gavin Williams on the mound, 6'6", 250, 3 different fastballs: fastball, sinker, cutter, curve, slider. Chandler Simpson leads off the wind, and today's first pitch, and it's in there, a strike, and we're underway at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario. 49 degrees, the game time temp. The kick and the pitch, and it's swung on, a little lazy fly into left. Angel Martinez barely has to move, and that's out number 1. You hit a ball up in the air today, and you are going to get punished as a hitter. That wind blowing in will knock everything down. Here's Junior Caminero. Had that foul ball that ricocheted off home plate and drilled him in the cheekbone last night. Had to leave the game after a half inning, but he's back in the lineup at third today. Williams pumps one in there at 96 miles an hour for a strike. Gavin Williams facing Tampa for the 5th time in his career. Into the windup. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And a breaking ball tapped slowly to third, charged by Ramirez. Gloves on the grass, throws on the run, and by a half step got Junior Caminero. In visiting with Jose Ramirez in the clubhouse today, he said, yeah, there's no question that my arm is stronger than it's ever been. Here you are talking about a future Hall of Famer, and he didn't like the way he was throwing the ball. And he said, I really worked hard, especially a lot more long toss to build up his arm strength this past off season. He's throwing the ball better than he's ever thrown in his career. Here's Jonathan Aranda taking a strike. Proof again that the great players, the superstars, they're never satisfied. They're always looking to get better. 2 down, nobody on, no score, first inning. And the pitch is in there, and the count 0-2. And I'll tell you what, there's nobody that takes greater pride in his defense than Jose Ramirez. And he would love to, and you would hope someday he'll be recognized with a gold glove at third. 2 down, nobody on, no score, the pitch, and it's high, 1-2. Gavin Williams, 4 wins, a loss, ERA 3.28. Second toughest hitter. I should say second toughest to hit off of. A 163 batting average against Gavin Williams. Now the 1-2. Swing and a jam job, rolled to first. Handled by Mansardo, steps on the bag, and an 8-pitch inning for Gavin Williams. That's how you get deep into games. Tampa, done in a hurry. Cleveland.
Hey, sports fans, there's no better feeling than when you're watching your team dominate. But remember, when the offseason comes, you can still channel your team spirit with a fresh coat of color. Ask Sherwin-Williams how you can make every day feel like game day with over 1,700 colors and a top-tier coaching staff to bring the energy of your team spirit home. Shop online or visit your neighborhood store today.
Need new tires? Here's a tip. Skip the good old kick for quality entirely. Get to your Northeast Ohio Ford dealer, the smart choice for tires without the footwork. Whatever you drive, any make or model, they've got you covered with a great selection of major tire brands. Expertly installed by certified pros. And the kicker? Your Ford dealer often has deals that beat dedicated tire shops. So, when it's time for new tires, roll with your Northeast Ohio Ford dealer.
Hon, is your new pinball machine in our budget?
KeyBank will meet you in that our money is now our money moment.
Actually, our banker Steve recommended we start a joint checking account for bills and keep our individual accounts for things like, pinball machines.
Did someone say Banker Steve? I was in the neighborhood, in case you had any checking account questions.
Steve, you're always there for us. Now, how quickly can we open that account?
Steve, are you seeing this?
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC. Bank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
Bybee into the motion, and the right-hander with the 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Back foot slider ate him up. What a job by Tanner Bybee.
This is Tanner Bybee. You listen to the Cleveland Clinic Guardians Radio Network.
Well, Cleveland's had trouble scoring runs, and now you have to do it against this guy, Drew Rasmussen. No score, bottom of the first. The pitch, and Stephen Kwan takes a strike from his former teammate at Oregon State. When Rasmussen was in his final year at Oregon State, Stephen Kwan was a freshman. Now the set and the pitch, and it's swung on, hammered to right, down the line, foul. Drew Rasmussen and Stephen Kwan and the rest of the gang at Oregon State won it all. Now the 0-2 pitch, high and wide, in the count of 1-2. Rasmussen is 6'1", 240, 30 years of age. Fastball, sinker, cutter, curve, slider, changeup. He'll throw in the mid-90s. Now the 1-2 delivery. Outside, missed with a changeup, 2-2. Stephen Kwan batting .220, a homer, 8 RBIs. Now the 2-2. Swing and a fly ball to left. It is twisting down the line. Foul off the side of the grandstand area. Drew Rasmussen, he and Stephen Kwan never got to really play with each other because in 2018 he was recovering from his second Tommy John surgery in college. He had his first in 2016. Now the 2-2 delivery. Swung on, line shot to center. Mullins coming on, makes the running catch. Well, that's an encouraging sign there, and that Stephen Kwan hit a BB to center, but Cedric Mullins got a good read on that sinking line drive, made the catch. Can you imagine? College is supposed to be the best time of your life, and you go to college and you have 2 Tommy John surgeries. Here's Chase DeLauder in right field today. No score, first inning. Now the pitch, and it's fouled back, strike 1. Chandler Simpson in left, Cedric Mullins in center, Jake Fraley in right. Jonathan Aranda at first, Richie Palacios at second, Taylor Walls at short, Junior Caminero at third, and the catcher, Hunter Fiducia. The pitch, swing and a little jam chop to shallow center, base hit. He got it in on DeLauder, but he muscles it into center for a bloop single. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Everybody in the lineup today is going to bat left-handed. 1 out, 1 on. No score, first inning. Rasmussen is tough to hit against, whether you're left-handed or right-handed. It's been impossible, though, this year if you're right-handed. The pitch to Hosey, and he cuts and misses. Right-handed batters have 3 hits this year in 35 at-bats off Rasmussen. That's an .086 batting average for right-handers. None are in the lineup today for Cleveland. The 0-1 in the dirt. Nice block by Fiducia. Kicks to the right, but DeLauder stays put. Now lefties haven't fared much better. They're batting .203 against Rasmussen, so nobody is hitting him. His batting average against, 160. Now the 1-1. Fouled it at the plate, a ball and 2 strikes. If you look at Rasmussen on the year, 5 starts, 2-0, ERA 2.45. His whip is among the best in baseball, 0.74. Folks, closers don't have a whip that good. He's a starter. The 1-2. Swing and a pulled ground ball to first. Bobble to recover by Aranda on the grass. Retrieves, then goes to the bag himself to get Jose Ramirez. Advancing to second is DeLauder. 2 down. And we've seen more of this from Jose here this month of April than probably at any time. He had him on an off-speed pitch, lunging at it. Just kind of a weak swing and ground ball. Here's Kyle Manzardo. 2 down. Manzardo starting to get locked in. And he checks on a fastball strike. Manzardo on the year batting .193, a homer, 6 RBIs. Runner at second, 2 down, first inning, no score. The pitch, a check swing, but he went around 0-2. Cleveland has only scored in 1 inning in this series. That was the 5th inning on Monday night. Daniel Schneeman's 2-run home run. Gone 13 consecutive scoreless innings since that time. Now the 2-strike pitch to Manzardo. Down and in. You look at Rasmussen on the year, his whip, which, if you're not familiar with whip, is basically average number of base runners per inning. If you're around 1, you're phenomenal. He's .74. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, fastball away. Wow. He's impressive. He's giving up an average of 5 hits and 1 walk per 9 innings. Do a Cy Young vote. I think it's just hand him the trophy. We go to the second. No score in Cleveland. Yandy Diaz leads off the second, and he takes down and away ball 1 from Gavin Williams. What a matchup. Gavin Williams, Drew Rasmussen. We may never see a run scored today. Here's the pitch. Diaz bangs one sharply on the ground to the second baseman. Bazzana flips it over. Tell you what, Rosie, Travis Bazzana has made every play defensively. Look, he hasn't had to make the sensational. But manager Stephen Vogt said this morning, I just want you to always make the routine. You make the routine, then we win.
We kind of noticed the difference between last spring and this spring training when we saw him in limited time. He looked a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, I agree. Here's Jake Fraley, left-handed batter. Checks on a pitch that's in there, a curveball strike. Look, he's been a second baseman his whole life. Is he Robbie Alomar? Well, there was only one Robbie Alomar. The 0-1, up and in, 1-1. But he can play second base. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's his hitting, though, that seems to always overshadow everything. Gavin Williams with the wind and the 1-1. And a swing and a jam chop towards short, cutting in front. Ramirez gloves, throws. That was Schneemann, I beg your pardon. And he gunned down Fraley. Posey's DHing today. Daniel Schneemann. I mean, you might as well give him the utility gold glove right now, too. I know it's still April, but who's played better everywhere in the field than Daniel Schneemann?
And part of that's mindset. He loves it. He loves moving around. I think if they said, hey, you're our regular center fielder, second baseman, third base, he wouldn't like that.
Here's Cedric Mullins taking a strike. It was like your dating card in college.
Exactly.
You know, if you'd have just had one, you'd have gotten bored. 2 down, nobody on, second inning. We are scoreless. The pitch, a swing and a drive, hammered to center, but Radek Kwan for the out. And then he met Carroll, and it was all over.
Where do you get your information?
You got the pick of the litter when you got Carroll and you hit a home run.
That's true.
Oh, I've got a lot of people in Lafayette. We go to the bottom of the second, no score.
Service, sacrifice, citizenship. The 3 core pillars of the Bob Feller Act of Valor Foundation. Learn more about Hall of Fame pitcher and Chief Petty Officer Bob Feller's service to his country at actofvaloraward.org.
Now at McDonald's, a sausage McMuffin is only $1.50.
So stop dreaming about breakfast sausage and go get it. Get more value on the under $3 menu.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery.
Now at McDonald's, a McDouble is only $2.50. So you can get your gym gains on or just get lunch for only $2.50. Get more value on the under $3 menu.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey, you mind keeping it down up there, please?
KeyBank will meet you in that I need new neighbors moment.
Rick, it's your mortgage loan officer, Beth. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to let you know your home loan application's been approved.
Beth, you're always there for me, and not a moment too soon.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ew.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
Are you ready to join a winning team? Like the Guardians, SwageLock is proud to call Northeast Ohio home. As a leading manufacturer of fluid system solutions, our products can be found all over the world. We are one of the largest employers in the Cleveland area and an award-winning workplace. Discover where stability meets opportunity with a career at SwageLock. We're hiring and invite you to explore open jobs at jobs.swagelock.com. That's jobs.swagelock.com.
Daniel Schneemann cuts and misses. Drew Rasmussen and Gavin Williams, second inning, no score. Daniel Schneemann, talk about hot. Last 14 games, Daniel Schneemann's batting .391 and a 1200 OPS. Rasmussen, the set and the pitch. A swing and a broken bat flare into right field, base hit. The barrel of the bat ended up by where the second baseman, Richie Palacios, is normally at. And Daniel Schneemann now has been on base 15 consecutive games. Cleveland's got a couple of bloopers. Maybe that's a sign that the worm is going to turn and Cleveland's going to bust out of it. So they've got a runner on, nobody out, second inning. Angel Martinez. What a start to his season. Now you want to see if Cleveland challenges Rasmussen and Fiducia. Fiducia has thrown out 2 runners in 11 tries. The set, the pitch, and it's fouled back. Tampa Bay hasn't been throwing anybody out this year. Teams are running wild. Teams have stolen 34 bases against Tampa. 3 runners caught. The key, though, is you got to be on it first to get a shot at stealing second. That's the hard part. Now the 0-1 runner goes. Pitch swung on, fouled back, 0-2. Hey, Marathon's here to keep you and your team fueled all summer long. Marathon is driven together. And once you get that car filled up with Marathon gas, then you go to Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care and get yourself some great tires. Hopefully we give away 4 of them today. The 0-2. Swing and a foul back. That's because Richard Fithian of Salem is trying to win the Bridgestone tires thanks to Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Visit econrads.com to enter. Good luck to Richard Fithian of Salem. Now the 0-2. Swing and a high fly to right. Near the line. Fraley near the grandstand area. Hits off the netting. We'll do it again at 0-2. A lot of folks out there on the drinking rail. Got a couple of fire pits going today down there at left field corner. Why not?
Is that how they're staying warm?
You know who has that, Rosie? Angel Martinez steps in, throw to first, diving back is Schneemann. Of all places, Liberty University. Come on. They've got some great athletic facilities, and when the boys were with Kent State, they would play there a number of times. Now the set. Now the 0-2, runner goes, pitch swung on, a chopper to the second baseman. So Schneeman's at second as Palacios lobs to first to get Martinez. One down, a runner at second. No score in the second for Travis Bazzana in his second Major League game. And yeah, Liberty University has a bunch of fire pits atop the grandstand area.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the way to see a ball game.
Yep. All right, Travis Bazzana's second Major League game was 0 for 2 with 2 walks last night. The set and the pitch. A swing and a foul back. He said his family just had a ball. He said, I don't know if they have any idea what time it is because there's a 14-hour time difference between Australia and Cleveland. Now the set. Now the pitch. Up and in. For instance, right now in Cleveland, let's call it 3 o'clock. In Australia, right now, it is 5 o'clock Thursday morning. Now the set. Now the 1-1. Swung on, ground ball towards second. Diving into right field. Palacios robs Bazzana of his first Major League hit. Great diving stop in right by Palacios. Second baseman popped up and throws him out. Schneeman goes to third, 2 down. Again, even in visiting with Travis Bazzana yesterday and today, Rosie, he is really, what is the right word? Here's Poe Naylor, runner at third, 2 down, no score. The pitch. Swung on, ripped to first on one hop. Handled by Aranda, beats Naylor on a race to first. He just seems very comfortable here at the big league level. He feels this is where he belongs.
Day 2, and he's already
hitting the ball hard off Rasmussen. So we're looking at baby steps, folks. You'll take them any way they can come. You get a feeling today's the day this club breaks out of it. We are scoreless. Third inning next. Richie Palacios, a drag bunt, but Williams off the line quickly to make the play to get Palacios. He came off the mound, got to the foul line at first. Pretty good bunt by Palacios, but Gavin Williams popped off quickly. And it's 7 up, 7 down. Well, can Gavin Williams do what he almost did last August in Queens? Here's Hunter Fiducia, left-handed hitting catcher. No score in the third. Gavin Williams delivering a strike. Right now, Gavin Williams has made a grand total of 17 pitches. 8 in the first inning, 7 in the second, 2 here in the third. Now the windup. Now the 0-1 pitch. Fiducia fouling it back, 0-2. Left-handed hitting catcher, batting .241, 4 RBIs. Cleveland getting dominant starting pitching in this series from Tanner Bybee and Parker Messick. And now Gavin Williams on the hill. Cleveland starters have given up 2 runs this series. That pitch dips low with a curveball, 1-2. Well, the ballpark pass for May will get you 16 games at $59, about $4 a game. The 1-2. Foul at the plate. That limited number of ballpark passes available right now at CLEGuardians.com. Joey Cantillo after the off day tomorrow, Friday night in Sacramento. Slade Ciccone Saturday, Parker Messick Sunday. The 1-2. Checked on a pitch in the dirt. Did he go? No. 2-2. Hunter Fiducia played in college at the D2 level, then transferred and played 1 year in Baton Rouge at Powerhouse LSU. Now the 2-2. Down and in, full count. Kind of yanked that slider. Boy, Gavin Williams, that actually hit him. Must have gotten him barely in the foot area. And that's the first base runner. So Fiducia is the first base runner for Tampa Bay. They still don't have a hit. But we're only in the 3rd inning. But with Gavin Williams, he's got no hit stuff so many times out, you feel like it's only a matter of time. Here's Taylor Walls, the number 9 hitter and shortstop, batting left-handed. Switch hitter, takes a curveball strike. Thing about Gavin Williams this year, his curveball and slider have both been tremendous. Then you match that up with 3 different fastballs. Now the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a foul at the plate, and the count 0-2. Whenever the Guardians do win, your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers donate $500 to Cleveland Guardians charities. That'll support expanded access to youth sports in Cleveland. Fiducia is not a threat to run. The 0-2. Got him swinging. So Gavin Williams with his first strikeout. 2 down in the 3rd. Top of the order, and Chandler Simpson flied out to left to start the game. No score in the 3rd inning. We were an hour and 21 minutes late in getting started due to rain, but we're playing and should be good to go the rest of the way. Williams looks to first, now sets the high hold and delivery. And it's fouled back. Simpson laid on a fastball at 96 miles per hour. Simpson, the 2nd-round pick out of Georgia Tech. Played for the iconic Danny Hall at Georgia Tech. The next pitch swung on, drilled foul down the left side. Danny Hall retired at the end of last season. He, of course, had an incredible run at Kent State and then went to Georgia Tech, and he was the head coach at Georgia Tech for 32 years. Now the 0-2, down in the dirt, 1-2. Boy, what he did at Kent State. He had back-to-back 40-win seasons at Kent State in the early 90s. Then went to Georgia Tech, and first year Georgia Tech, they were the runner-up in the College World Series. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, line to left. That's the first hit in the game. Falling down, fielding it is Martinez, and from the seat of his pants threw the ball back in. That gives you an idea of the footing out there. I don't know if Angel Martinez is wearing baseball spikes or if he's gone with those molded baseball spikes, the plastic ones. They can be a little bit slick when you've had rain. So Simpson with the first hit at first, Fiducia at second, no score, third inning, 2 down. Junior Caminero takes a called strike. Danny Hall in his last year at Georgia Tech, they were 41-19, got to the NCAA tournament. What a career. Now the 0-1 pitch down low, and the mark of a great college coach, talk to his former players. They revere Danny Hall, and they go back every year to work out at Georgia Tech and stay a part of the program and be around coach. Now the set and the 1-1 pitch. Down low, ball 2, 2-1.
With all the different options for winter work nowadays for pro players to go back to your college campus, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you went to Georgia Tech because it was a tough school academically.
You might have an engineering degree.
Unlike what's going on with NIL today. Now the 2-1 delivery. Swing and a miss, 2-2. What was the kid's name? The quarterback of Miami? Chris Beck, was it?
Carson Beck.
Carson Beck. Transfer from Georgia. Miami gets to the national championship game in football, and they say, man, you're missing a lot of class time. That goes, class time? I haven't been in a class since I left Georgia. Okie dokie. Nothing's changed with the Miami Hurricanes. Gavin Williams is ready. 2 down, 2 on, no score, and the 2-2 delivery. Caminero takes a little bit low with a slider, full count. So Fiducia will be off at second and Simpson at first. You go to Georgia Tech, play baseball, you got yourself a heck of a degree. Gavin Williams checks the runners. The dangerous Junior Caminero awaits the payoff. Here it comes. Strike 3 called. He took a fastball at 97 miles an hour. Williams works out of a mini jam. No score, middle of the third on the Cleveland.
Recently, our company softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, winning isn't everything. Dale's a loser. I play to win. Like early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later.
Sound familiar, Dale?
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
At Cleveland Clinic, bettering lives is what you live for. You treat setbacks as a chance to come back stronger. You search for solutions inside and out. And you create new ways to keep moving forward. Because managing a condition is a win worth celebrating. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
Hey Cleveland, are you looking to score big with your home equity? Union Home Mortgage will help you unlock the value of your home and fund the promises you've made to yourself and your family. Visit UHM.com and score financial freedom today.
Union Home Mortgage Corp. is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229.
Stuck in a dead-end job? Kick your career into high gear through a building trades apprenticeship. Ohio is calling up the next generation of skilled tradespeople across the state. We're hiring electricians, plumber, pipe fitters, iron workers, sheet metal workers, bricklayers, cement masons, boiler makers, roofers, insulators, laborers, elevator makers, roofers, insulators, laborers, elevator constructors, and painters and glazers. Don't miss your shot at big money and full benefits in a construction apprenticeship. Are you ready to build your future? Start your application today at ohioconstructiontrades.com.
No score, bottom of the third. Brian Rocchio batting left-handed takes a high curveball from Drew Rasmussen. Jamie Sepik of North Royalton, our Hyundai Grand Slam contestant. The pitch, swung on, drilled foul down the right side, 1-1 the count. Guardians get a grand slam here in the third. Jamie Sepik of North Royalton gets the Hyundai Kona, courtesy of your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. Visit HyundaiGrandSlam.com to enter. Now the 1-1, outside, changeup missed, 2-1. Ryan Rocchio batting .263, 3 homers, 17 RBIs. He still leads the club in runs batted in, hitting 9th. The pitch to him, and it's in there, 2-2. Drew Rasmussen. Mentioned how he went to Oregon State. He was a freshman and threw a perfect game. A freshman. The pitch. Bang! Back up the middle. Glanced off Rasmussen to the shortstop. Walls, gloves, spins, throws wildly. Caroms from the first baseman toward that screen covering the Tampa first base dugout and retrieved by the catcher Fiducia. So Brian Rocchio gets credit for an infield single. And Cleveland continues to hit the ball hard. Maybe now they start finding some holes. Here's Stephen Kwan lined out to center his first time up. Rasmussen is ready. The pitch, runner goes. Pitch is taken, a strike. Throw is high and an easy steal for Rocchio. His second. Boy, that was stolen off Rasmussen. I mean, Fiducia had no chance. So in a scoreless game, Cleveland's got a runner at second. Nobody out. And Stephen Kwan with an 0-1 count. Now the pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball to first, handled by Aranda. But Kwan gets the runner to third. One down. Infield will be in for Chase DeLauder. So Drew Rasmussen throws a perfect game his freshman year at Oregon State against Washington State. But then has Tommy John surgery in 2016, has it again in 2017. You're out 3 years. Here's Chase DeLauder, singled his first time up. Infield in, the pitch. Backed him off the plate, ball one. Here's where Cleveland has scuffled this series, getting a run in from third, less than 2 out. Rasmussen, the set, the pitch. High, ball 2. Chase DeLauder, 4 for 9 in the series. Left-handed slugger. The 2-0 pitch. And it's a little in. 3-0. Let's see if he is swinging. 3-0. Jose Ramirez on deck. Runner at third, 1 out, no score. Infield drawn in. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul out of play. Third base side. He had the green light. 3 balls and a strike on DeLauder. Drew Rasmussen. Weird how he ended up with Tampa Bay. They made him a first-round pick, and he didn't sign. He failed his physical. The pitch. Inside, he walked him. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez. So Tampa drafts Rasmussen in the first round in 2017. Remember, he's recovering from Tommy John. But he failed his physical, so didn't sign. Went back to college. He couldn't pitch again. And in 2018, a year later, even though he hasn't pitched in 3 years, 6th round pick by Milwaukee. Now the pitch to Hosey with the infield back. And he fouls it at the plate. Strike 1. That got a piece of his foot as he's limping around home plate. So he's already had 2 Tommy John surgeries in college. Then, in July of 2023, rather than have a 3rd Tommy John reconstructive elbow surgery, they do kind of the Cliff Notes version. If you want to look for an analogy, it's that internal brace, so not as intrusive, shorter recovery, but I don't think anybody knows how long those kind of things are going to hold up.
Yeah, so far so good. And,
yeah.
And obviously he's hoping a long time.
Now the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a foul back and out of play, 0-2. But Tampa Bay is very careful with him because he blows that thing out again, he's probably done.
How encouraging, though. A year ago, 31 starts. So
yeah.
He was out there every day or every 5th day.
He was an all-star. Now the 0-2 pitch. Fouled it back. Ooh, pretty good piece of hitting. That was a changeup away. Hosey fought it off. And the count stays 0-2. Guardians at the corners. No score, one down. We're in the third. Rasmussen's ready. Here it comes. Checked on a pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, this is a guy that obviously Cleveland needs to get hot. And he will. It's only a matter of time. Now the set. The runner goes. Pitch swung on. Chopper to first. Handled by the first baseman. Throw back to third. Diving back safely is Rocchio, and everybody is safe. Well, that was weird. A chopper to first. Aranda fielded the high chopper. Breaking for the plate was Rocchio. Put the brakes back on. Went back to third and beat the throw to third. And everybody now is safe. That's a bases-loaded scenario now for Cleveland as Aranda didn't get anybody out. Well, you just have to take advantage of this opportunity now as Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, is out there. That'll simply be a fielder's choice for Jose Ramirez. And Rocchio now at third, DeLauder at second, Ramirez at first, 1 out, no score in the third. As Rosie mentioned, Rasmussen made 31 starts last year, but they held him to 150 innings. I mean, that's not even 5 innings to start. But you have to be ultra careful with his pitch count and his innings because of the history. Here's Kyle Manzardo. Can we give away a vehicle? The pitch, and it's downstairs, ball 1. The Hyundai Grand Slam giveaway. Jamie Sepik of North Royalton trying to win the Hyundai Kona from your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. Now the 1-0 with the infield back. Swinging a high fly ball, fairly deep left. Simpson circling under it, makes the catch. Tagging coming home is Rocchio, 1-0 Cleveland. Manzardo, a sac fly to left, drives in his 7th run. So Cleveland's got on the board. But boy, when you've got them loaded up, 1 down, you need to get more than 1. So now it'll take a 2-out hit from Daniel Schneemann with DeLauder at second, Ramirez at first. Dollar Bank's the proud banking partner of the Guardians. 28 locations in Northeast Ohio, ready to provide solutions to help get you there. Here's Daniel Schneemann, single to right his first time, the pitch, and he waves at a fastball up around the letters, 97 miles per hour. 2 out, 2 on, 1-0 Cleveland, 3rd inning. Rasmussen, he's ready, he fires, down in the dirt, and the count 1-1. The right-hander comes set. He delivers, and the pitch fouled upstairs behind the plate. A ball and 2 strikes on Schneemann. Boy, Rasmussen really mixes up his pitches. Really has great command. I mean, this guy has walked 5 batters in 6 starts this year. That's incredible. He fires, and it's tapped foul at the plate. We'll do it again at 1-2. 27 strikeouts, 5 walks. Anytime you have a better than 5-to-1 ratio of strikeouts to walks, that puts you in elite categories. The 1-2. Down in the dirt, changeup bounces up the first baseline after being blocked by Fiducia, but he couldn't keep it near him. So DeLauder to third, Ramirez to second on the wild pitch. And boy, a base hit here would give Cleveland a 3-0 lead. 1-0 Cleveland, second and third, 2 down in the third, and a 2-2 count on Daniel Schneemann. Now the set. Now the pitch. high with the fastball. Well, Daniel Schneemann does have 12 RBIs in the last 14 games. Steps out of the batter's box, takes 2 deep breaths to just try to slow himself down a little. Climbs back in, and the payoff pitch. Got him swinging on a cut fastball. Rasmussen works out of it, but Cleveland's got a 1-0 lead. The 4th is next on the Cleveland Clinic Radio Network.
Guardians up 1-0 as we reach the 4th inning here in downtown Cleveland, and Gavin Williams goes back to work facing Jonathan Aranda, who takes a breaking ball strike on the outside corner. Aranda bounced to first his first time up. Williams, a little bit of trouble last inning, but worked around it. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2 as he went back to the curveball that time. A beauty. Yandy Diaz next, then Jake Fraley. Tough part of the lineup here for the Rays. As the 0-2's on its way. Swung on, chopped foul at home plate. We'll do it again on 0-2 to Aranda. 27 years of age, out of Mexico, and the breakthrough season for him was last year. He was an all-star. Here comes the 0-2 from Gavin Williams. Fastball upstairs. 1-2 the count. Jim Rosenhaus along with Tom Hamilton on a dreary afternoon at Progressive Field, but we are getting this one in. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew it right by him. Aranda's down on strikes, the 3rd for Gavin Williams. Yandy Diaz will step in. Brian Matze's up the street at Command Center. You might need to go to the lighthouse first to find it. It is foggy downtown today. These teams are playing through it. They're going to get this series in. The pitch to Diaz on the inside corner for a strike. It did not look good early in the week based on the forecast, but we're in the window of some dryness here, so we get the game going. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, line to right. DeLauder is right there, makes the catch. Diaz retired for the 2nd out in the inning.
Wow, you just hope this weather holds off and the Cavs get their game in. Gets any foggier like it was earlier, and they won't be able to get to the arena.
They'll be putting out the foghorns for the Cavaliers. Here comes the left-handed hitting Jake Fraley, and he takes a pitch outside for a ball.
I didn't even know Canada likes basketball. They were going crazy this weekend when we were up there playing the Cavs.
Here's the 1-0. Outside 2-0. Thursday night, I went out to eat, was looking for just a place to watch hockey and basketball, the same place. 30 screens at least, and every one of them had the basketball game on. No playoff hockey in Toronto, Canada. That's how much they love their Raptors. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. 2-1 the count.
Who were the Maple Leafs playing?
That might have been the issue. They finished 29th out of 30 teams this year in the NHL. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, ripped in the right side hole, on through into right field, a base hit. So Fraley's aboard with a sharp single to right. Keeps the inning going. And that's a crisis up there. It's been a while since the Maple Leafs have won a Stanley Cup, and they've had a hard time even getting close. Here's Cedric Mullins, line to center his first time up.
Well, how many teams make the NHL playoffs?
About half. 16. Throw to first. Good throw. Got him at first base. Oh, I don't think Fraley likes it, but he's picked off. Gavin Williams, for a big man, has an excellent move to first. And we'll wait and see if Kevin Cash wants to challenge. He does not. Side retired. We head to the bottom.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last two, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hi, I'm Pat Moran, owner of Window World and a proud partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Today's game is brought to you by another winning team, Window World. We're family-owned right here in Ohio, and for more than 23 years, we've been providing you with quality windows, doors, siding, and gutters professionally installed, backed by a lifetime warranty, and always at a great price. So let's hit a grand slam together and call the Window World team at 1-800-WINDOW-WORLD or visit windowworld.com for a free in-home estimate.
A grand slam for Daniel Schneemann.
Spend your weekend at Progressive Field when the Guards take on the Twins May 8th through the 10th. Purchase a district ticket presented by Miller Lite and get a standing room ticket plus your first drink for just $20. Only at CLEGuardians.com.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Juanel Martinez steps in, bottom of the fourth, 1-0 Cleveland. Facing Drew Rasmussen. Tampa Bay's right-hander fires away, and there's a swing and a liner out toward right center, but it hangs up there, and making the catch is Fraley, the right fielder, moving over. What do you think? It takes a cannon to get one out of here today? I mean, goodness gracious. It's cold, damp, wind blowing in. Travis Bazzana, the batter. Bounced to second his first time up. Robbed of a base hit on a great play by Richie Palacios, the second baseman. Here's the pitch, and it's swung on, and that one's chopped to second. Easier play this time for Palacios, who flips on to first. 2 quick outs for Rasmussen here in the fourth. Don't miss play ball weekend. It's coming up June 5th through the 7th, encouraging youngsters everywhere to get out and play. You can visit playball.org to register for a free event near you. Here's Bo Naylor. Bounced to first his first time up. The pitch to him. Fastball outside corner, strike one. 94, and it looks easy. from Drew Rasmussen. Here's his pitch. Off speed, just missed outside and high, maybe. Fiducia wants to challenge. Our first challenge of the day. Is it a ball? No, good challenge by the Rays. It's a strike. So Fiducia, he thought it was, and that was upheld and overturned, and Naylor's in the count in the hole 0-2. Here's the pitch to him. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, that was fast. 3 up, 3 down. Holy smokes.
5 pitches.
We head to the 5th. 1-0 Guardians. Guardians up 1-0, trying to salvage the finale of this 3-game series with the Rays. A couple of one-run games have gone Tampa Bay's way. And now the Guardians up by a run as we start the 5th with Cedric Mullins stepping in for Tampa Bay. Gavin Williams lets it fly and is breaking balls low and in for ball 1.
I know this is irrelevant, but should Weird Al Yankovic have his music ever played between innings at a ballpark?
Here's the 1-0 on the inside corner for a strike, 1-1.
If your name is Weird Al, you're disqualified from ever having your music played.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Eat It was being played between innings here at the ballpark.
Didn't Michael Jackson do a pretty good version?
He did. There's a swing and a high fly ball. Oh, Kwan went back, slipped, recovers. He's coming in, and he makes the catch. That could have been tricky. That's a couple of players now we've seen slip in the outfield. It hasn't proved costly, and Kwan made a nice recovery there. Another one rides the bus. I like that one by Weird Al. That was a good one.
I'm sure you have
I got the whole collection.
A poster up of Weird Al in your bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
You have his entire library of music, which...
on vinyl.
Yeah. Was that one?
Richie Palacio steps in, and he's first pitch swinging. Wraps one on the ground to Bazana at second. Backhand pickup. Throws him out at first. 2 up, 2 down as Williams continues to be extremely economical. 51 pitches, and he has 2 down here in the 5th.
You think maybe the hitters are all saying, look, both these guys throw strikes, and this is miserable swinging the bat in this weather. Try to get something early.
They are not falling behind 0-2. That's no way to go, so they're trying it early. Up to the plate, Fiducia bunts foul off to the third base side. Little Ouchies fidgets and sensory tools are made to support self-regulation. Designed and manufactured right here in downtown Cleveland. Little Ouchies squeeze, roll, relief. Fiducia hit by a pitch his first time up. 1-0 Cleveland. 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball inside corner for a strike. And it looked like Fiducia was thinking about challenging, but thought better of it. 0-2 the count on him. Williams delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Another strikeout for Gavin Williams, his 4th, and he sets the side out in order again. 4.5 complete in downtown Cleveland. It's the Guardian.
Hi, Max the Bald Eagle from Marathon here. We asked people if they could do an impression of me. Have a listen.
You can save up to $1 a gallon with the Marathon Rewards app.
That last one was pretty good. Marathon, where fun runs on full.
Available at participating Marathon locations. Terms and conditions apply. See marathonrewards.com for details.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, sports fans, there's no better feeling than when you're watching your team dominate. But remember, when the offseason comes, you can still channel your team spirit with a fresh coat of color. Ask Sherwin-Williams how you can make every day feel like game day with over 1,700 colors and a top-tier coaching staff to bring the energy of your team spirit home. Shop online or visit your neighborhood store today.
Dollar Bank is a proud partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Only with Dollar Bank can you get a Cleveland Guardians debit card design and Guardians branded checks. And when you use your card at the Guardians team store online or at Progressive Field, you'll get a great deal on the latest officially licensed MLB gear, too. To learn more, visit dollar.bank/baseball. Dollar Bank. Let's get you there.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. The perks described herein are subject to change or termination without notice and at the sole discretion of Dollar Bank and or the Cleveland Guardians. Sole discretion of Dollar Bank and or the Cleveland Guardians.
Guardians up by a run. Sac fly from Kyle Manzardo in the 3rd inning's the difference as Brian Rocchio leads it off. He scored that run in the 3rd after a leadoff single. Here's the pitch to him. He swings and fouls it back for strike 1. An infield single, stolen base. He advanced to 3rd on a ground out and scored on the sac fly by Manzardo. And it's that type of day. Both pitchers really looking sharp. Here's the 0-1. Outside 1-1. And they have the track records where you kind of thought runs would be hard to come by. Not the easiest day to hit today. Damp, chilly, windy. The 1-1. Swung on. There's a chopper right side. Scooped up by Aranda. Bobbles it. Flips to the first base bag, but Rasmussen can't come up with it. It rolls toward the dugout, but Rasmussen was able to snare it before it rolled in there. So it's just first base for Rocchio, but first base just the same on his 2nd infield hit on the day. So back to the top of the order for Stephen Kwan, and we'll see if he gives Rocchio a chance to steal a base again as the Rays are laboring with their ability to throw out opposing base stealers. Rocchio 2 for 4 on the season. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, strike on the outside corner to Kwan. Kwan's 0 for 2. He's lined to center and bounced to first. Guardians lead 1-0 here in the 5th. Last day of a short homestand. Quick throw to first. Diving back in is Rocchio. Enbridge Gas Ohio wants to remind you, whether you're an individual or a contractor, state law requires that you call 811 before you dig to have underground utilities marked. It's simple and free. Just dial 811. Here comes the 0-1 to Kwan. Swung on, line, base hit right field, maybe more. On his way to second, motoring to third is Rocchio. Trying for two is Kwan. He's in with a stand-up double. Second and third for the Guardians with nobody out here in the fifth. Well, you were with us earlier, leading off the bottom of the first inning. Kwan hit a really sharp line drive to center that was caught. And that seems to have been a good indicator of his day today. He's had excellent at-bats. And now the Guardians have an opportunity to pad that lead with the infield in for Tampa Bay. Chase DeLauder at the plate. Here's the pitch to him. Swung on and missed. Strike one. DeLauder with the home run cut. In a while between home runs. He has the 5 on the season. They came in the season's first week. That last one coming in the home opener against the Cubs. Here's the 0-1. Way upstairs. 1-1. But with that said, DeLauder has been getting his base hits. A single earlier today. Also a walk. Came in hitting over 300 in his last 7. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, and that's lined foul over to the Guardians' dugout. Third base side. That sent him scattering. And it's 1-2 on DeLauder. Outfield straight away for Chase DeLauder. And again, the infield is in. Big hole on that third base side of the infield. Here's the pitch. In tight. 2-2 the count. Rasmussen sets at the belt. Here's his pitch. Swung on, ground ball up the middle, base hit into center. Rocchio scores. Right behind him is Kwan. He scores. It's a 2-run single through the drawn-in infield for Chase DeLauder. And the Guardians grab a 3-0 lead. You know, they have struggled in this series to come up with the key hit. In fact, 0 for 9 with men in scoring position. But DeLauder delivers. And that's 2 on the board this inning. A 3-0 lead, and now Jose Ramirez steps in. Here's the pitch. Off speed, outside corner for a strike.
Well, now DeLauder leads the club in runs batted in. I mean, yeah, he hasn't been hitting the home run, but gosh, this is a heck of a rookie start.
Here's the pitch to Ramirez, and it's down low for a ball.
Rosie, you wonder, too, what might happen this weekend. The ball flies out of that ballpark. It's a minor league ballpark in Sacramento. That could be a weekend where the hitters get healthy.
Looks like the weather's going to be great. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Well, and you mentioned DeLauder, not with the home runs, but the average is there, and he's not striking out.
No.
He's given himself a chance. And right there, just a simple ground ball through the middle with the drawn-in infield, and it plates a pair of runs. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase the curve in the dirt. Ramirez is down on strikes for the first out in the inning. Brings up Kyle Manzardo. Sac fly is last time up for the Guardians' first run today. They're now up 3-0 here in the fifth. Athletic injuries happen, sprains, dislocations, and more. Self-schedule an appointment with a sports medicine specialist at clevelandclinic.org/athletecare. Manzardo, first pitch swinging, fouls one off at home plate. And it's 0-1 on Kyle Manzardo. J.B. Erie is one of the great coordinators and rovers in the minor league system who focuses on defense. And he was saying, he's in town this week, he was saying Kyle Manzardo, late January, got out to Goodyear to really work on his defense at first base. And it's paying off now. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, fouled back, 0-2. Sometimes that hard work, it can be a delayed result. And there were some struggles early this season for Manzardo, but man, he's looked good at first base defensively. for the last week to 10 days at least. 0-2 the count on Manzardo. Here's the pitch, and it's outside and low. 1-2. Boy, it is getting more and more foggy as we go here at Progressive Field.
Hey, game's official. Call it.
Call it on account of can't see. Here's the 1-2. Swung on line, first base side foul. The umpire at first, Manny Gonzalez, he had to kind of do the limbo to get out of the way of that one. It was screaming down the line, and he just got out of the way. Another 1-2 pitch coming to Manzardo. Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase the high fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts. 2 down in the inning. DeLauder still at first for Daniel Schneemann. Schneemann's 1 for 2 with a single back in the second. He has also struck out. 3 runs on 5 hits for the Guardians. Here's the pitch. Swung on, popped him up, foul, third base side near the dugout. Caminero over there, but runs out of room. It drops just beyond his reach. So 0-1 the count on Schneemann. Now it's been a 4-game losing skid the Guardians are in right now. They'd love to get out of here before heading out on the road with a win against a red-hot Tampa Bay team. Here's the 0-1. In tight. 1-1. And Tampa Bay, again, the team in the AL East that no one really talks about in the wintertime when everyone else is making big moves. But here they are, a contender again. The 1-1 in there for a strike. 1-2.
When nobody talks about Kevin Cash and how he's become one of the great managers in this game. These two organizations, pretty darn similar, Rosie.
Here's the 1-2. Down low, 2-2.
The way they do it, the way they have to fight the odds against teams with much greater payrolls. A lot of ways, you look at Tampa, Cleveland, Milwaukee, they look like triplets, don't they?
They sure do. There goes the runner. The 2-2 is fouled off at home plate. And we'll do it again on 2-2.
And what 3 organizations get rated more for front office executives and other baseball people, coaches and whatnot, than Cleveland, Milwaukee, and Tampa?
Here's the 2-2 to Daniel Schneemann. DeLauder stays at first this time, and it's another pop-up to the third base side. Foul ground. Caminero near the sidewall and runs out of room again.
He's had a tough 2 days.
That was nasty last night.
Yeah.
First inning. Foul ball off a home plate and bonked him in the chin, and that was it for him. But he posts today in the final day of the series. Here comes the 2-2 from Rasmussen. Schneemann battling. The pitch is on its way, and it's swung on line. Left side, base hit on through. On his way to third is DeLauder. The throw comes into second, and Schneemann keeps the inning going with an opposite field single. Now it's runners on the corners with 2 down. And Angel Martinez heading to the plate, with Bazana moving into the on-deck circle.
Rosie, this guy, Rasmussen, gives up an average of 5 hits per 9 innings. And Cleveland with 6 hits in 5 innings. And how many other balls have they hit hard? This is as encouraging an outing as we've seen from this offense here in the last 4 or 5 days. And you're doing it against a really good pitcher.
Well, a good plan, and it seems like they are sticking to that today. And it has paid off as Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, heads back to the dugout after a brief chat. quick look at our injury report presented by Elk & Elk. For a team of injury lawyers dedicated to every client every day, call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Gabriel Arias coming back from the hamstring issue, still a ways away. Sean Armstrong with a groin injury hopes to be back in that bullpen when his time on the injured list is up, as he's progressing nicely. Here's Martinez. Runners on the corners, 2 down. There goes the runner, Schneemann, and the pitch is a strike on the inside corner. No throw to second. Another stolen base for the Guardians, who have been aggressive today. That's the second for Schneemann on the season. Second and third now, the 0-1. Martinez takes it inside for a ball. 1-1 the count. Angel Martinez with a good season going a month in. 15 runs batted in for him. 2 more out there for him. The 1-1 swung on, fouled off at home plate. Martinez, one of several Guardians, off to a really good start in terms of hitting with men in scoring position. He was batting .353 heading into play today. Switch hitter left side. Here's the 1-2. Outside and low. Good stop on a pitch in the dirt by Fiducia, the catcher. Outfield playing it pretty much straight away for Martinez. Infield slightly to pull, especially Walls, the shortstop. Now the 2-2. In tight, ball 3. And that pitch count really starting to climb on Rasmussen after the good start in that department. His next pitch will be number 90, so his time in this game coming to an end quickly. The 3-2 swung on, popped him up, foul, out of play, third base side. Casey Legumina, a right-hander, is warming up out in the pen for Tampa Bay, and he's about ready if needed. Payoff pitch coming to Martinez. Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Side retired. But the Guardians score 2 and will head to the 6th. 3-0 Cleveland.
Well, this game is official. It's a 3-0 ball game. Cleveland with the lead. And Gavin Williams out there, the number 9 hitter. Taylor Walls takes outside. It's a mist that is blowing about Progressive Field. Cleveland, 3 runs, 6 hits. Tampa Bay, nothing on 2 hits. Now the 1-0, a swing and a foul out of play. 1-1. Great to see Bill Cosgrove, his brother, and another friend coming in. As it's been a fun reunion here with Tampa and Cleveland. Taylor Walls batting left-handed, fouling it upstairs. Bill, of course, one of our great partners with Union Home Mortgage, and now one of the owners of the Tampa Bay Rays. And Tampa Bay in great hands with Bill Cosgrove and Ken Babby and the rest of that new ownership group. Now the kick and the 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. And we'll be back seeing these guys later this summer, as I don't think Tropicana Field will ever look better than it's now looking. The pitch swung on, foul at the plate after a year of having to play at the Yankees spring training site. Tampa has Tropicana Field all fixed up. Manager Kevin Cash was saying in his office this morning it's much brighter than it was. And Cleveland will be down in St. Pete to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. That'll be coming up near the end of July. And, of course, the Rays trying to get a new ballpark built. And they deserve one. They shouldn't have to keep playing at Tropicana Field. It's fine for the time being, but they deserve a new building. Here's the windup. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Walls strikes out. That's 4 for Gavin Williams. Tom Hamilton back with you. Check that. That is 5 strikeouts now for Gavin. Tom Hamilton, Jim Rosenhaus, and Brian Matze with you on a rainy day. An hour and 21-minute rain delay at the outset. But we're playing with a mist now. Top of the order and Chandler Simpson. 3-0 Cleveland. Simpson ground ball to second. Bazzano looks it into the glove, throws over, 2 down. Gavin Williams has been brilliant again. A shutout, 2 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts. He's hit a batter. 2 down. Here's Junior Caminero. Ground out, strikeout. 3-0 Cleveland. The windup and the pitch. And it's low a ball. And hopefully by the time we see these Rays later this summer, there will be something finalized for a new ballpark for the Rays. Caminero's grounded out, struck out. Here's the kick and the 1-0 pitch. Inside. Tropicana Field has served its purpose. It got all these other ballparks built because there was always the threat of teams moving to St. Pete unless their community came up with a new park. That pitch in there. White Sox got a new ballpark because of it. San Francisco did. Cleveland did. If Jacobs Field hadn't been built, the Indians would have been in St. Pete. The 2-1, bullseye, 2-2. So now it's time for the Tampa Bay Rays to get the kind of ballpark they deserve. And it'll happen, but as we know, it's always an arduous process. 3-0 Cleveland, 2 down, 6th inning. The kick and the pitch. And strike 3 called. Not sure what he was guessing, but Junior Caminero evidently wasn't thinking. Fastball. 3-0 Cleveland. We go to the bottom of the 6th.
Progressive. I can't believe the deal we got on these seats for the game.
Wow, they must be pretty high up here. I think my ears just popped.
Yeah, here, put this on.
Is that an oxygen mask?
An official team oxygen mask.
Well, I can kind of see the field.
Good, your senses are still sharp. You're going to need them for phase 2 of the ascent.
Don't save money by sitting in the nosebleeds. You could save hundreds by switching to Progressive. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Let's talk NOPEC. NOPEC uses the bulk buying buying power of nearly 1 million customers in over 250 Ohio communities to negotiate competitive electric and natural gas rates. They also work behind the scenes, challenging utility rate increases and fighting for consumer-friendly energy policies. For more than 25 years, NOPEC has been working to keep your energy bills affordable. Learn more at nopec.org or by calling NOPEC's 24/7 Customer Care Center.
Save $2 when you buy 2 cans of Superior Products Coverall tire dressing. Plus, get 4 times O Rewards points now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Time to pause for station ID on the Cleveland Clinic Radio Network. Tom Hamilton, Jim Rosenhaus, Brian Motze with you. The day is over for Drew Rasmussen, who came in unbeaten with a 2.45 ERA. Batting average against of 160. And Cleveland touched him up in 5 innings for 3 runs, 2 earned on 6 hits, struck out 6, walked a batter. Right-hander Casey Legumina. The wind and pitch. Bazzana drives one to deep center. Back is Mullins. Track, wall, caught near the wall by Mullins. Well, if the wind isn't blowing out, as Lee Smith once said, that would have been in the pork and beans. But Bazzano with a drive to deep center, looking for that first major league hit. But he put a nice swing on that. And you see the power right there. Wind blowing in, a miserable rainy day in Cleveland. First ball swinging, Bo Naylor sends one down the left side, foul into the seats, strike 1. Naylor's grounded out, struck out. Casey Legumina. We saw him earlier this year with Seattle, the 0-1, and it's in there a strike. Legumina now pitching with the Rays. 0-2 the count. He delivers, and the pitch down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Legumina, fastball, sinker, changeup, and that slurve of a breaking ball. The right-hander kicks, fires, and the pitch down low, 2-2. Legumina faced Cleveland twice when we were in Seattle to open up the campaign, then was acquired last Friday. The pitch swung on, golfed high in the air, fairly deep left center. Camped under it, the left fielder Simpson. Naylor out, number 2. This is not a day to hit the ball in the air. You're not going to get rewarded. 2 down, nobody on. 3-0 Cleveland. They have scored on Kyle Manzardo's sac fly and Chase DeLauder's 2-run single. Here's Brian Rocchio, switch hitter, batting left-handed. Rocchio, 1 for 2, a single. Cuts and misses, strike 1. Rocchio says, ew, that bat is slipping in my hands, so he gets some more of the stickum to put on. I think we're going to just play in this swirling mist the rest of the day. The temperature right now, 49 degrees, but it doesn't feel that warm. Here's the wind and the pitch. Outside a ball, 1-1 the count. The kick and delivery. Swung on, line to left. That's a base hit the other way for Brian Rocchio. The number 9 hitter's been on base all 3 times today. Boy, is he off to a tremendous start. Now that'll bring up the top of the order. Stephen Kwan. He may have swung the bat as well today as he has all season. He's lined out, grounded out, doubled, and scored last inning. Runner on, 2 down, 3-0 Cleveland. Legamina's pitch down low, ball 1. When you've got rust to bust, use PB Blaster. It's a Cleveland original since 1957. PB Blaster, always working like a pro. Pitch misses outside a ball, 2-0. Off day tomorrow. Cleveland flies to Sacramento tonight. Now the 2-0 pitch. Inside 3-0. Meanwhile, Gavin Williams, a 2-hit shutout through 6 innings. 66 pitches is all he's made. Kwan takes highs on base again. Boy, if Stephen Kwan gets it going, then this offense goes to a different level. He heads to first on the 2-out walk. Brian Rocchio to second, and Chase DeLauder 2 for 2, 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and a walk. Right-hander ready. The pitch swung on, hammered, foul, deep down the right side into the club seats. Three runs, 7 hits, Cleveland. Tampa blanked on 2 hits. The next offering, high and wide, missed with a breaking ball, 1-1. Chase DeLauder 5 for 10 against this really good Tampa pitching staff. The 1-1, way high and outside, ball 2, 2-1. Legamina, he fires, and it's in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The next delivery, a swing by DeLauder and a high pop. Third baseman into foul ground, making the running catch. Coming towards the plate is third baseman Junior Caminero. So, Cleveland and Tampa, 6 in the book. Jonathan Aranda, the number 3 hitter, leads off the Tampa 7th. 3-0 Cleveland over Tampa. The wind-in pitch to Aranda, 0 for 2, and he waves at it. Gavin Williams, 6 strikeouts. He's hit a batter. He's given up 2 base hits. Again, today he's had no hit stuff. We say that every 5 days. The pitch waved at, 95 miles an hour, 0-2 the count. Gavin Williams now has a batting average against him of 163. He's got an earned run average now as he winds it up and fires the 0-2 pitch. Oh, maybe high, 1-2. His earned run average is now 281. And you're shocked when anybody gets a hit off him. Williams, the wind and the 1-2. High, 2-2. The great Tommy Bochenik, who does a great job on stats for the TV folks. Gavin Williams today, to show you how dominant he is, as he rocks into his delivery, the pitch. Strike 3 called on a backdoor slider. 7 strikeouts. That was a long at bat, believe it or not. A 5-pitch at bat. Gavin Williams has had 11 outs today that have been 3 pitches or less. Yandy Diaz, the DH, 0 for 2. Lines one back up the middle into center. That's a base hit. Williams had to duck under that. 3rd Tampa hit. They've got a runner on. With 1 down, 7th inning. Cleveland on top, 3-0. Meanwhile, Seattle and Minnesota 2-2 in the 8th. Toronto leads Boston 3-1 in the 4th. Here's Jake Fraley taking a look at a curveball strike. Texas a 2-0 lead over the Yankees. They're in the 5th inning. A lot of day games. Miami and the Dodgers 1-1 in the 4th. Baltimore and Houston already rained out. The pitch swung on, topped foul, right side 0-2. And the White Sox beat the Angels 3-2 in 10 innings. Nothing new for the Angels. They've lost 6 in a row. They have a record of 12-20. They're one of the worst teams in baseball. And it just seems like, Rosie, it's deja vu in Anaheim. Now the 0-2 pitch. Inside, not by much. And they have a healthy Mike Trout.
Yeah, he's back, but Tommy, and maybe they do have some prospects that are close, but you don't hear about their farm system when they talk about the farm systems that are really productive.
Now the set and the 1-2 pitch. Down and in, 2-2. That scoreboard update presented to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. Well, one thing about the Angels, they get to draft in the top 10 every year. 3-0 Cleveland, 1 out, 1 on, 7th inning. Gavin Williams, the pitch to Fraley. Swung on, double play ball to second. Bassano to second, threw it wide, into left field, down into the left field tarp area. All the way to score from first is Diaz, and into second is Fraley. A double play ball, and Bassano threw it wide of second, down the left field line, into foul ground near where the tarp is. And instead of the inning being over, it's a 3-1 ball game, and a runner at second and 1 down, and that's the first mistake Bassano has made in his young major league career. Now the batter, Cedric Mullins, 0 for 2. Cuts and misses, strike 1. Didn't look like Travis Bassano rushed or anything. He just made a wide throw. Runner at second. One down, seventh inning. 3-1 Cleveland. Williams 2 looks to second, a third look. Now the pitch, and a tapper headed to third, foul, and the count 0-2. Double barrel activity in the Tampa pen. Cleveland's pen is quiet. Gavin Williams should have been out of the inning with that ground ball. So now Gavin Williams trying to work out of it. Keep it a 3-1 Cleveland lead. He looks back, comes to the plate, and a drive set high in the air to shallow right. Bazzana out, DeLauder in. The right fielder calls off his second baseman, and in shallow right, DeLauder makes the catch, 2 down. On a day like today, those plays are more difficult than you might think because the fielder is looking straight up into a mist blowing into his eyes. And once again, a low ceiling here in downtown Cleveland as fog is covering much of the downtown skyline. 2 down, runner at second. 3-1 Cleveland. Richie Palacios 0 for 2 to the plate. Williams fires. Palacios takes. Called strike. Painted the outside corner. Outfield straight up, medium deep. Now the 0-1. Swing and a miss, threw it by him. 0-2. Palacios steps out. Gavin Williams now at 82 pitches. He checks the runner. He comes to the plate. And Palacios swings and fouls it back. We'll do it again at 0-2. The double play that wasn't turned is going to cost Gavin Williams. Probably, well, right now, another good 8 pitches. Now the 0-2. Got him swinging on the slow curve in the dirt. Naylor digs it out, throws to first. 8 strikeouts for Williams. It's an unearned run off Gavin Williams, who picks up his teammate Travis Bazzana and doesn't let things get out of hand. Stretch time at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario, and Cleveland.
This is the call of the Australian rubberbird.
Snap! Snap!
This is the call of the Alaskan chili bird.
Jeez, it's cold. Jeez, it's cold. Jeez, it's cold.
And this is the call of the marathon mascot bald eagle, Max.
Hi, it's Max.
Hello.
Did you know you could save up to $1 a gallon with the Marathon Rewards app?
No. Thanks for the call.
Marathon, where fun runs on full.
Available at participating Marathon locations. Terms and conditions apply. See marathonrewards.com for details.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else. All to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Your life's on your phone. Your vehicle should be too. When you download the Spitzer VIP app, convenience is #1. View vehicle health. Get important alerts. Schedule service in seconds. Earn reward points. Plus, new vehicles come with complimentary oil changes and a lifetime warranty at no cost to you. It's all trackable in the Spitzer VIP app. From GPS to live chat support, 100% convenience is here 24/7. Download today. Wag more. Spend less at Spitzer. Proud sponsor of the Guardians.
At Spitzer, our world revolves. At Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
Attention on deck.
Calling all Cuyahoga County vets. We are the Veteran Service Commission, your forward operating base. From VA claims and financial assistance and more, we got your six. Visit us today at 3950 Chester Avenue.
Right-hander Yoendris Gomez on the pitch. Doesn't throw hard. Low 90s, fastball, sinker, cutter, curve, slider, change. 3-1 Cleveland. Gomez makes his 9th appearance. He does have a save. He also has an ERA of 7.04. This guy doesn't throw many strikes. 10 walks in 15 innings. Jose Ramirez batting left-handed. The pitch. The DH takes a strike. Casey Legamino went a scoreless inning. Drew Rasmussen gave up 3 runs, 2 earned today in the 5 innings he worked. Now the 0-1 pitch. Way inside all the way to the backstop. One of the first things Gavin Williams did when the ball club got to the dugout, went up to Travis Pizzana and banged him in the chest saying, "You're fine. Don't worry about it." Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a foul off to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, the one thing this club, year in and year out, has is chemistry. And a lot of it is because a lot of these guys played together in the minor leagues. And I know it sounds like a simple thing. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Down low, time is called, pitch clock violation. But we know of Hall of Fame pitchers who would have had a different reaction in that dugout when the double play wasn't turned, and all that does is kill the confidence of a young kid. Gomez is ready. Now the 2-2 to Jose Ramirez. Swung and ripped to right, base hit down the line. This ball's going to get all the way to the warning track. Jose Ramirez in standing with a double. That's number 7. And Cleveland up 3-1 as a leadoff double here in the 7th inning with Kyle Manzardo coming to the plate. That is the first time today we saw Jose stay back on an off-speed pitch and not get out in front.
Look, we've seen it how many times over the years with him. He'll get there to a good place again, and it'll be trouble for the opposition.
Here's Kyle Manzardo, 0 for 2, a sac fly. The pitch, fouled back, strike 1. On the pregame show today, Stephen Vogt talked about how Cleveland, second worst in the major leagues. Only Milwaukee's been worse as far as hitting off speed. Here's the set by Gomez. The look back. The 0-1. Waved at 0-2. And Voter talked about the fact, look, first off, you have to be able to hit the fastball when you're in the big leagues. If you don't hit the fastball, you have no chance to survive on the big league level. Now the set. Now the 0-2. Fouled back. And then on the off speed, he said, we have a lot of young hitters who are so geared up to hit the fastball that they're committing before they really recognize if it's a fastball or if it's a slow breaking ball or if it's a changeup. And he said the next step in that maturation process, here's the set by Gomez and the 0-2 delivery to Manzardo. Got him swinging. So 1 down, big strikeout because it keeps Ramirez at second. Let's see if Jose now tries to steal third. But Stephen Vogt was saying now with the young guys, and he said they'll learn. It takes repetition. It takes game experience. And he said it's the same way with a veteran. You get into spots where you just can't stay back. Here, Daniel Schneemann, 2 for 3. The pitch, runner goes. Pitch is outside, throw to third, high, head first slide. And you knew it was coming. Jose Ramirez now 12 for 12 in steals. Because Kyle Manzardo struck out, Ramirez knew, I've got to get to third with less than 2 out. And he went on the first pitch and made it easily. Now Tampa brings the infield in. Runner at third, 1 out, 7th inning, 3-1 Cleveland. Gomez ready. Here's the pitch. Down low. But voters said you'll learn as a hitter to create tension on your backside. Once your backside goes, you're done. You've committed to hit or swing. And he said it takes time and it takes repetition. Now the 2-0 pitch to Schneemann. Fouled at the plate, 2-1. If it was easy, everybody could play up here.
And Tom, I feel like baseball is the one sport, hitting in particular, where you need the at-bats, the amount of at-bats that it takes to recognize that and develop. Trial and error, a lot of failure along the way.
Well, voters said one of the reasons now the changeup is so much back in vogue is because even though these guys throw 100 miles an hour, hitters now are trained to hit 100 miles an hour. You've got to take them off the fastball. Now the 2-1 with the infield in. Down and in, 3-1. Chase DeLauder was talking about Brian Baker the other night. He said he's throwing 98, and then he's throwing an 82-mile-an-hour changeup. He said that's almost impossible to stay back on. But DeLauder did and doubled. The pitch. And Schneemann skies one on the infield. Third baseman, Junior Caminero, almost even with the bag, makes the catch, and Ramirez stays put at third on the pop-up. That ball was hit so high, it went into the fog and then came back out. 2 down. Runner still at third. Still 3-1 Cleveland in the 7th. Angel Martinez, the batter, 0 for 3. He'll swing it left-handed. Nobody has more electrified hybrid choices than Toyota, including the all-new, all-hybrid RAV4. For all Toyota offers, go to Toyota.com. Gomez firing. Inside, he moved the feet of Angel Martinez, and he almost got him in the back foot. Tickets sold 14,196 on a dreary day in Northeast Ohio. Hour 21 minutes late in getting started. Swirling mist, cold temps throughout the game. The pitch, and it just missed outside. Tampa will challenge the call. Well, at least the catcher signaled, I want to challenge. And nothing happened.
Tom, I think the ABS might be out.
Oh, that's right. Bart sent us that text. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Bart sent a text saying the ABS is going in and out, so that is why Tampa Bay couldn't challenge. Thank you, Bartley. It's the first time we've seen that happen.
We're going old school.
Now the 2-1 delivery. Swing and a foul back, 2-2.
It's interesting because it could impact the remainder of the game now.
How will we ever make it through? 3-1 Cleveland, 7th inning, runner at third, 2 down. Gomez is ready. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, fouled off, right side. Martinez stays alive. Can you imagine the ABS goes out, bottom of the 9th inning of Game 7 of the World Series?
There'd be conspiracy theories all over the place.
Oh, you think? Especially if Houston was playing. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, banged up the middle to his right. Backhanded pick by Palacios. Throws to first and makes the play as his feet started to go out from under him at second base. Good play by Palacios. This next 3-1 Cleveland. Gavin Williams, 84 pitches as we start the 8th, 3-1 Cleveland. Hunter Fiducia, the catcher, takes a strike. Lefty Eric Sabrowski, right-hander Hunter Gaddis up in the Cleveland pen. Fiducia hit by a pitch and struck out. The pitch swung on, fouled back, 0-2. Gavin Williams, 8 strikeouts. He's hit a batter. He's given up an unearned run on 3 hits. He has been masterful again today. And no walks. The 0-2. Swung on, a bouncing ball headed to the second baseman. Bazzana fires it over for the out. That'll bring up Taylor Walls. He has struck out twice. Switch hitting shortstop. Batting left-handed. Gavin Williams was averaging 5 walks per 9 innings this year, but none today. Gavin Williams has walked a batter in 45 consecutive starts. The pitch tapped foul at the plate, but again, none today. Jarrett Wright. Here's the wind and the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Chase the curve in the dirt. Jarrett Wright had a streak in which he walked a batter in 80 consecutive starts. Of course, Jarrett, nearly the Game 7 hero in 1997. The 0-2. Curveball, strike 3 call. No challenge available. ABS is out. 9 strikeouts for Williams. Walls has been a victim 3 times. 2 down. That game that Jarrett Wright pitched his rookie year against Miami, Game 7 of the World Series, a changeup that Bobby Bonilla hit out. The only run off Jarrett Wright. He was magnificent. And a rookie pitching Game 7. And if he had any nerves going into that game, he did an incredible job of hiding it. Top of the order, here's Chandler Simpson. 2 down, Cleveland up 3-1, first pitch strike. Simpson 1 for 3, a single. 3-1 Cleveland in the 8th, the next delivery. And a curveball and a knee buckler for strike 2. Boy, his curve has been so good. Chandler Simpson steps back in. Only 3 hits today for the Rays. The pitch. High, a ball. You look at this series. Cleveland has scored a grand total of 5 runs in the series. Tampa Bay has scored 5 runs. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, drilled to left. That's a base hit. Chandler Simpson with a 2-out single. Here's Junior Caminero. Caminero 0 for 3. Has struck out looking the last 2 times up. 2 down. Runner at first. Cleveland with a 3-1 lead. And the most dangerous Tampa hitter. Caminero with a team-high 8 home runs. Right-hander against right-hander. The set and delivery. Swung on, line to left. That's a base hit. Stopping at second base is Simpson. And with Jonathan Aranda up, we may see Eric Sabrowski right here. 2 outs, 2 on, 3-1 Cleveland. Here comes Voter. Eric Sabrowski will make an appearance here in the 8th with 2 outs and 2 on. Cleveland on top, 3-1. This call to the bullpen presented by Spartan Storm Shield. It's the roof system to last your lifetime. Visit SpartanStormShield.com.
Is your roof protecting your home or putting it at risk? Roof damage often starts small and stays unnoticed until it leads to costly repairs. Spartan Storm Shield, a proud partner of the Cleveland Guardians, is offering a free roof analysis covering the 7 most common problem areas. If you want these in, call your local family-owned Spartan Storm Shield. Call 330-SPARTAN to schedule your free roof inspection today. Again, that's 330-772-7826 or visit SpartanStormShield.com.
Cleveland Clinic. Bettering lives is what you live for. You treat setbacks as a chance to come back stronger. You search for solutions inside and out. And you create new ways to keep moving forward. Because managing a condition is a win worth celebrating. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
Hey Guardians fans, Medical Mutual cares about the health and well-being of Ohioans like you. That's why they offer high-quality health insurance plans with access to the hospitals and doctors you know and trust. Plus, dental, vision, and wellness plans to help you achieve and maintain your health. To learn more about individual, Medicare, and employer plans, visit medmutual.com/Guardians. Medical Mutual, the official health insurer of the Cleveland Guardians.
The Guardians and PNC Bank are going to bat for small business. Throughout PNC Bank are going to bat for small business. Throughout the season, join PNC Bank, honoring 6 local businesses for making a difference in our community. Ben Williamson to run at first for Junior Caminero. Cleveland 3, Tampa Bay 1. Tampa Bay in the 8th inning, 2 outs, runners first and second. Left on left is Jonathan Aranda to the plate. Second in the American League with 25 RBIs. Sabrowski fastball, curveball, slider. The Edmonton native's pitch fouled back and out of play, strike 1. Sabrowski, 11 holds this year. In 15 appearances, ERA .270. 21 strikeouts in 13 innings. The set. The pitch in tight. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. All of this with 2 outs. Simpson and Caminero with singles. Now the 1-1. Runners go. Pitch is high. Throw to second. And it's off the glove of Rocchio. He recovers behind the bag at second. And a double steal. How about that? Simpson gets his 11th. And Ben Williamson gets his 3rd. Bo Naylor went for the trail runner, but he bounced the throw into second, and Rocchio couldn't dig it out. Boy, that's Tampa Bay baseball there. Down 2, and they pull off a 2-out double steal. The pitch. In there, a called strike, 2-2. It's risky, but it's worked for Tampa Bay this year. They are the absolute best in winning these white-knuckle games. Simpson at third, Williamson at second, 2 down in the 8th, 3-1 Cleveland. Tampa Bay is 10-2 in games decided by 2 runs or fewer. Cleveland 8-10. Tampa's won 2 of those type of games in this series. Now the 2-2. Got him swinging. Good slider by Sabrowski, gets Aranda, and Cleveland stays on top 3-1 in the middle of the 8th.
Our yoga instructor challenged us to find inner peace. Stood up and screamed, "I found Nirvana! I win!" They asked me to leave. I guess they don't respect winning. Bet365 does, though. New customers get $200 in bonus bets just for betting $10. Namaste, losers. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Dollar Bank is a proud partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Only with Dollar Bank can you get a Cleveland Guardians debit card design and Guardians branded checks. And when you use your card at the Guardians team store online or at Progressive Field, you'll get a great deal on the latest officially licensed MLB gear, too. To learn more, visit dollar.bank/baseball. Dollar Bank. Let's get you there.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. The perks described herein are subject to change or termination without notice and at the sole discretion of Dollar Bank and or the Cleveland Guardians.
Hey, Guardians fans, Medical Mutual cares about the health and well-being of Ohioans like you. That's why they offer high-quality health insurance plans with access to the hospitals and doctors you know and trust. Plus, dental, vision, and wellness plans to help you achieve and maintain your health. To learn more about individual, Medicare, and employer plans, visit medmutual.com/Guardians. Medical Mutual, the official health insurer of the Cleveland Guardians.
Fans chanting, "Let's go, Bo." The pitch. Swung on a rocket. Deep right center. It's got a chance. Gone! Bo Naylor!
This is Bo Naylor. You're listening to the Cleveland Clinic Guardians Radio Network.
Travis Bazzana looking for that first major league hit. Will lead off the bottom of the 8th against Yohendrys Gomez. Second inning of work. 3-1 Cleveland. The right-hander's pitch is high, ball one. Travis almost hit one out of here. Nearly to the wall in dead center in the 6th. 0 for 5 in his young career. The right-hander delivers, and Bazzana hits one sky high on the infield. Behind the mound, the shortstop Walls makes the one-handed catch. One down here in the 8th. It'll bring up Bo Naylor. He's 0 for 3. What an outing by Gavin Williams. 95 pitches today. Went 7 2/3 innings. Gave up a run unearned. Allowed a measly 5 hits. Struck out 9, hit a batter. And did not walk a batter. Naylor pops one up, almost the same spot. The shortstop Walls stays on the dirt, now on the front edge of the grass of the infield, makes the catch on Naylor, 2 down. So Gavin Williams, after 45 consecutive starts where he walked a batter, that ends today. Boy, he was dominant. 2 down. We'll see Cade Smith in the 9th. He'll be facing the middle of the order, Diaz, Fraley, and Mullins. 3-1 Cleveland. Here's Brian Rocchio, 2 for 3. He's scored a pair of runs. The pitch inside a ball. He singled and eventually scored on Kyle Mansardo's sac fly in the 3rd. Chase DeLauder, a 2-run single in the 5th. 3-1 Cleveland. Tampa's run unearned. The pitch tapped foul in back of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cleveland trying to find a way to win one of these close ones against Tampa. The set, the 1-1. Fouled it back, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gomez is ready. Here it comes. Backdoored him and just missed with a slider. Fiducia says, "I want to challenge the call." Scott Berry slaps him. Says, "I told you once. Not telling you again." It's not working. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a little flare that is going to get down into left center. Base hit. 3-hit game for Brian Rocchio. Top of the order, here's Stephen Kwan. 1 for 3, a double and a walk. Well, it didn't take long for everybody to get used to the ABS challenge, did it?
Come on, where is it? Scott Berry now with a toolkit in his back pocket. He dismantled it before the game.
I saw a stat, Rosie, that for the ABS challenges this year, here's the set of pitch to Stephen Kwan. And it's high, ball 1. Of all the calls made by either the catcher, the hitter, or the pitcher, they're the only people that can challenge. 53% of the challenges have been overturned. In other words, the ump was wrong 53% of the time. Snap throw to first, back with a dive is Rocchio. Does Tampa challenge that call?
Yes.
Yep. Wow. Now, 53% of the challenges have been overturned, if you want to say. The call was not, the challenge was overturned, but the call was overturned. And so the challenger was correct 53% of the time. The ump was wrong. Cleveland has the second worst percentage. They've only been right 43% of the time. And I don't think this would be a surprise, Rosie, but catchers have been much better at challenging than hitters or pitchers. The catchers have been right 60% of the time. The hitters and the pitchers have been right about 43% of the time.
Well, when you think about it, the catcher's, he's lined up to get a better view of it. The hitter's moving, the pitcher's moving, so it's harder for them to judge, certainly.
This call might get reversed. Rocchio may have been out. Really good move by Gomez. Cleveland up 3-1, 8th inning, 2 down, runner at first. But it's interesting. I think, too, part of Cleveland's problem is why they've been incorrect so much. A lot of the challenges have been done by really young players who seem like maybe they get caught up in the emotion.
Yeah, because it's almost instantaneous. The minute the call goes the other way, they want it reversed.
Anyway, we're 1 month in. Be fun to keep tabs on it. Right now, New York is making this call on whether or not Rocchio was picked off at first. Cleveland with a 3-1 lead, 8th inning, 2 down at the moment. And here comes the call from New York.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Tampa Bay loses the challenge.
There you go. So Rocchio, who has a steal today, Cleveland with 3 as a team. Let's see if he takes an even bigger lead. Stephen Kwan, the batter, 2 down. Cleveland up 2 in the 8th. Now the 1-0. Swung and banged to first. Nice backhanded pick by Aranda. Steps on the bag. Boy, Stephen Kwan hit it hard again. We go to the 9th. Cade Smith will try to protect a 3-1 lead here on the Cleveland Clinic Radio Network. Well, Cade Smith coming on to work the 9th inning. As the Guardians have a 3-1 lead. Cade Smith, fastball, slider, and split. Yandy Diaz, 1 for 3, a single, scored the only run unearned in the 7th. Pitch to him, in there, a called strike. Gavin Williams, another brilliant start, 7 2/3. Struck out 9, did not walk a batter, gave up an unearned run on 5 hits. The next pitch, missing 1-1. And the 12th hold for Eric Sabrowski. Faced one batter, wiped him out with a strikeout. Now the pitch swung on, line to left, and Cade Smith gives up a base hit to Yandy Diaz, and now the tying run to the plate in Jake Fraley. 1 for 3 with a single. And these guys just don't go away. Fraley, a left-handed hitter with power. The pitch, waved at. Boy, he threw that by him. That breeze blowing in from right. If you're hitting one out of here today, you better hit a line drive. The 0-1. Fouled it back, 0-2. Cade Smith this year, 6 saves and 8 opportunities, 13 appearances, 2 wins, ERA 4.15. He's ready. Hands chest high, lets it fly. Pitch waved at, struck him out. Had that fastball up around the letters. Fraley out, number 1. Here's Cedric Mullins. Mullins 0 for 3. Left-handed hitting center fielder, hitless in his last 18 at-bats. He tried to hold up, chased one, strike 1. Schneemann in on the grass at third, the outfield medium deep, straight up. Yandy Diaz, small lead at first, 1 down, 3-1 Cleveland, 9th inning. Now the 0-1 pitch. A little bit high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cade Smith out of the Vancouver area lets it fly, and the pitch swung up, popped foul near the Cleveland dugout. Schneemann has a play. Third baseman made it just as he was getting to the railing of that dugout on the third base side. So the Guardians' third baseman retires Mullins. Tampa down to its last out. It's Richie Palacios. Palacios 0 for 3. 2 down, runner at first. Cleveland 3, Tampa Bay 1. Manzardo drops behind Diaz at first. The pitch, a knee buckler. It's in there, a called strike. Diaz can take off if he wants. That run doesn't mean anything. Now the 0-1. Waved at it. That had to be a good split. Nothing into the count. Really had him out front. Now Smith has a number of ways to go after Richie Palacios. He can go back to the split. He can get him to try to chase the high heater. Let's see what Cade Smith elects to do. Here's the set in the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Ball game. And he went mano-a-mano with a fastball. Cade Smith wipes out Tampa in the 9th. Cleveland with a dominant pitching performance again today salvages the finale 3-1.
Are you ready to join a winning team? Like the Guardians, Swagelok is proud to call Northeast Ohio home. As a leading manufacturer of fluid system solutions, our products can be found all over the world. We are one of the largest employers in the Cleveland area and an award-winning workplace. Discover where stability meets opportunity with a career at Swagelok. We're hiring and invite you to explore open jobs at jobs.swagelok.com.